Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Travis is in transit. Don't freak out. He'll be here in just a moment. He is making his way here from a very delayed thing.
He couldn't stand. He couldn't stand to face Laura.
That's right.
He's hiding.
Well, if he knew it was good for him. But before we get into tonight's episode, let's go into some quick announcements. First and foremost, our fantastic returning sponsors for this campaign, our friends, our dear friendly at D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
Sam.
Everybody, our trip to the UK changed us in a lot of ways. We were exposed to the European culture, and that sort of area of the world, and we fell in love with it. And tonight, there's so much to talk about that I'm going to actually need some help. Everyone knows Matt's Scottish accent is top-notch. But I've been studying with a dialect coach that I found on Craigslist, and I think I'm ready to unveil my Scottish brogue. Now, because it's so accurate, Matt's going to translate what I'm saying. I'm going to be saying things in Scottish, traditional, accurate Scottish, about D&D Beyond, and he'll translate into
Like pre-offended.
American English.
I'm weirdly on board with this.
Okay, here we go. Hello, ye bonny lasses and laddies. Don't be a wee dafty. McCallian's been havering how D&D Beyond is the meist bro up to Hido.
D&D Beyond is proud to announce the continuation of the Waterdeep campaign Dungeon of the Mad Mage is out tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific.
Nay, I can't be off me head. It's taps off, cause of D&D and Magic the Gathering, you numpty.
The long-awaited The Magic the Gathering D&D crossover Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica also drops tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Hold your weesh to nick it now, or you're fit to be getting scalped, you herplin jobby.
You can get both at dndbeyond.com/marketplace.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh no, that's your line. Wait, no, that's my line. Okay. What you doing the weekend? Jangs, you're a right hoodie dauber, ye are. Pure walloper, oot your nut.
D&D Beyond is hosting a 2-day streaming event this Friday and Saturday at GameholeCon to benefit Extra Life.
We're a Jock Tamson's bairns. It's quality. I'm pure skunnert. I looked these words up. They're real.
Both days will feature 3 4-hour sessions from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30. Oh, wow. From 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. with special guests raising money for a special cause.
Okay, they've thrown him that badly.
Yeah.
Call me Dooney. Get on your trolley and head over to twitch.tv/getfucked, you clatty rajwee shite.
Be sure to tune in to twitch.tv/DNDBeyond to check it out.
That was a twist I was not expecting.
That was...
Does it ever stop?
I don't know when it stops.
That'll make it end.
That's who we are
Don't press
now.
it again, it'll start again. Maybe it's winding down.
Thank you, Sam.
Oh, yes. Well, you know, we just love London. We love UK. We love it all.
My distant ancestry is extremely pleased with your performance. Thank you, D&D Beyond, as always.
What is Tohaido? Tohaido. To high, though, I believe, and it means something. I looked it up. All these words are real. Up to Hido means, like, a lot? Don't know.
Guide to Ravnica. So the next episode of All We're Gonna Play will debut this Friday at twitch.tv/Critical Role at 7 p.m. Pacific. This week, Liam and Sam are building a custom MAME cabinet with Felicia Day and our fantastic director of events, Brittany Wallach. You get this. It's MAME cabinet, something that kind of I've been chasing my whole life, and finally there is one in my vicinity.
And Felicia joins us as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Ms. Day.
So check that out Friday. Also, through the month of November, and in celebration of Veterans Day, we're raising money for Travis's favorite charity, Operation Supply Drop. We've talked about it before. We put up the account. You guys have already raised a tremendous amount of money. for this. So as much as we can get the word out there before the donation period closes, continue to help them. Operation Supply Drop has already helped over 750,000 members of the military community since its inception, and continues to support active military members, veterans, their families. It's amazing the work they do. We're big fans of everything they do. Check out all the information to donate now at critroll.com/OSD. Also, both the standard and deluxe editions of our second art book, The Chronicles of Exandria, Legend of Vox Machina, will be on sale via pre-order this coming Monday, November 12th at 9 a.m. Pacific. This art book contains art from our fantastic, beloved community of critter artists, and they've all put it together with just love and joy, and I'm super proud of it. These guys died to get it done, as did a number of our artists. You guys did incredible work. We're excited for you guys to check it out, and super excited to announce for our European critters, the art book will be shipped out to our brand new fulfillment center in the United Kingdom. We just set up. A lot of hard work.
Big deal.
To finally get a fulfillment center that side. This will drastically reduce shipping costs and delivery times for our European family out there. Super stoked to have this finally functional. We'll have more details to that available Monday morning when all this goes on sale.
Should I translate what you just said for our Scottish audience?
Do I have a choice?
No.
I'm gonna show off an image from inside the book. This is the standard, by the way. Matteo Scalera, an artist that I fell in love with reading the Black Science comic book. He's fucking amazing,
That's
and the cover
standard?
is.
Yeah.
This is the standard.
Shit, that's good.
This book, it is so beautiful. Show that thing off, and I'm going to find a
beautiful
picture.
deluxe edition, which comes with a little ribbon, and you can see this wonderful, wonderful cover art with the eye, with Vecna in the center, and the four gods depicted in the corners, all cowering before his might.
Yeah. The four major deities that were involved in that final arc.
Here. This, I'm gonna show off a little Ioun. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my god.
Look at this.
Who are these lovely kids right over here?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
That's right there.
Just like that, it goes away. All right. We'll look forward to the information that is coming Monday at critroll.com. I believe those are all of our announcements. And with that, let's go ahead and jump in to tonight's episode of Critical Role. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, last we left off, the Mighty Nein, after making a daring escape from the temple of the false serpent on the island of Urukazel, had managed to nearly drown in the escape, make their way through the jungle, being chased by both Yuan-Ti and the lizardmen denizens of this island, making their way to the shore just in time to have the actual pirate ship, the Squall Eater, there to defend you, firing various heavy cannonballs towards the creatures of which had given chase, and allowing you to escape on the boats to safety. Upon reaching the top of the ship, you found that the mistake has been repaired enough to be seaworthy, though it does need some more intense repairs. Your supplies are relatively low, and it looks like the current goal is to find your journey westward to the island of Darktow, which has been wiped, from your knowledge, wiped from the Clovis Concord's control many, many years ago, and currently resides as the center of all piracy in the Lucidian Ocean. As you all went to rest for the evening, Ford, who will be here shortly so I can continue to embarrass him, had an evening's conversation with Captain Avantika, in which it was discussed his past history with his kind of childhood father figure, who also seemed to have a history with Avantika as well, and is somehow rolled in with this strange Ukutoa phenomenon. It also came to light that the shipwreck in which gave Ford his powers might have a connection, based on the captain's intuition, with where this third and final sphere may lie. And it was decided between the two of them that this may be the next goal beyond Darktow to pursue. After which they fucked. And so, while that era of the story is transpiring, I want to ask you guys, since we have a moment here, yeah, well, or in the loose, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey period of figuring things out as you recover from the intense return to the ship, what would you like to do? Is there anything you want to check up on? First off, everyone leveled to 7. And we got level 7, which is awesome.
Did we get like a long rest after?
This will be the long rest.
Okay.
For everyone but Ford, I guess.
So this isn't, nice. This isn't the next few days of our sailing adventure. This is that night.
This is that night. Okay. We will then begin to embark on what that journey will be. But if there's anything you wish to do before the evening's done.
I already gave my shade. I'm done. That was all I needed.
I would try to locate Caduceus on the boat, actually. I don't know if he's hiding or not.
Oh, I'm in the I'm in my room because I was. Is this before Ford came back, or?
You can say this is while Ford is out.
Okay, so I'm in my room.
Okay, so I will go to where he is on the boat and.
Hey, Mr. Caleb. Good evening.
You look
Battered.
tired as I feel. Do you have a moment?
Sure. What can I do for you?
May I come in?
Oh, yes, of course.
I feel a little poorly for the time you have been having traveling with us. It was not a very good day. It's been a string of bad ones, in fact. And I am grateful to have you along with this group because we get hurt a lot. We stick our noses places maybe we shouldn't. And you have been very helpful.
Thank you. I think I'm coming to the realization that perhaps I was not entirely clear of what I signed up for. But I don't think that means that it's the wrong path. I'm getting used to the idea that it wouldn't be a test if it were easy.
So, is it your intention to continue on with us?
I joined your group of friends, I guess our group of friends now, as a testament of faith, and it would be a disservice to that faith to turn around because it's hard. If it had been easy, and I suppose I wouldn't have needed to be called to it. I've been thinking a lot about it. Jester gave me a lot to think about, to be honest.
Well, you know, sometimes acts of good faith deserve to be rewarded when they can. I wanted to give you something that will make your time with us a little bit easier, I suppose. And I start to pull the periapt out and untie it. This, I'm always so far back away from. I hear you, Laura, in my peripheral. I hear you.
Sorry.
I'm always very far back anyway. This isn't doing me much good, and it's better that you stay up more than I stay up, because if you go down, that's it. So this is just a little bit of extra, protection. Anyway.
Mr. Caleb, do you believe in fate? There are lots of different kinds of fate. I know that's a heavy question. But do you believe that we are driven towards something by things that are greater than ourselves?
I don't know. I would like to think not. But I don't know.
There are times I think about the cruelties of the world and the things that have been put upon me and my family, and I would hate for that to be a plan. And there are times when, like today, I'm very grateful for being in the right place at the right time to make sure that the right people are becoming strong in the ways they need to be. And I don't think that it excuses the pain. I don't think that you have to, I don't think you have to not care about it or fight it with everything you've got, but I think the world is shaping you into something important, and I want to make sure that you get to wherever you need to be.
That's a pretty big matzo ball.
Well, you won't have to work very hard at it, I imagine. I think just being you, wherever the world puts you, will do just fine.
Well, if you have this is magic, by the way.
I can tell.
There you go.
Thank you.
I help you. That makes it easier for you to help all of us. So,
And I promise I will continue to help you all. This is, even when we're not the best of people, I feel like we're still moving towards something that's good and worthwhile. And I'm feeling the struggles in my way to bring us to where we need to be.
welcome to the Nine.
I'm honored.
Okay, I feel like shit, so I'm going to go to bed.
Thank you for this. I won't forget it.
Just like Ford.
Meanwhile, 1 hour later.
Rolling them double ones.
So you get to remove that item,
Yeah.
and you get to add it to your.
I'm adding which item?
Periaptive wound closure. It just feels right that it's with you.
Yeah, it's called wound closure.
What does it do?
Is that one that,
Makes it harder for him to die.
yeah,
It was
stabilizes
Molly's.
him at death?
Nice.
Super good.
All right.
I'm gonna go to Caleb when he gets back. Caleb! Caleb! Caleb!
Where's my owl?
Oh, right. Doesn't drown. It's amazing.
Hey,
It's like it's magic or something.
yeah.
We had good times.
You have 3 or 4 more days if you want.
Do I?
Yeah, Whoa.
Can you do me a favor?
Pocket.
Pocket owl.
Pocket owl.
Right next to my bacon.
Ow.
I got this red feather from Neela, and I don't know, when she handed it to me, she was like very deliberate about how she handed it to me. I don't know. Do we just see if it's like magic?
You want to know if this is something?
Yeah.
Do you have a moment?
Yeah.
Okay. I will cast Identify on this.
Okay. It is not magical. It is sentimental.
Yeah, that's a feather. That's just a feather. It's good looking though.
tight to my staff. I'm not disappointed.
Okay.
I'm not disappointed.
Are you good?
Bye. I'm gonna go to bed.
Can I pull out sprinkles?
Okay. So as you reach back into your waterlogged hood of your coat, you you hear this tiny little, and there you kind of will pull out this extremely waterlogged and unhappy crimson weasel.
You're so top sprinkle. I'm gonna squish his little cheeks.
And peas in your hand.
Oh, thank you. Okay, go right here. Stay there. Don't drown, okay? And then I'm going to look for, I'm going to look for Bo, but she's not around. So then I'm going to go look for a knot.
I'm drinking.
Where are you
Where are
drinking?
you drinking?
I don't know where. Are we all staying in the same room? We have a couple rooms.
There are 3 rooms between the group, I think, that have been given to you, and people that have been moved to the mistake.
Let's say that I'm drinking on the deck of the ship.
Oh, good. I was on the deck of the ship too. How perfect.
Oh.
Hey, hey, Knot.
Hi.
Hey. Are you super wasted?
I've got a good buzz on.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, I think you have because you said you were like into somebody before. Have you ever kissed a boy?
That was the cutest thing.
I've kissed a boy.
Yeah. What was it like?
Excuse me?
What was it like when you kissed him?
Have you never kissed someone?
No. Well,
You're
here's.
a lady. Your mom is a
I was
master
asking
of
not. I
sexuality.
was asking what it was like when you kissed someone. That's all.
Because you haven't done it.
Well, I didn't know if it counted.
Oh. Well, what was the situation?
I was drowning.
Oh, you mean today? Oh.
Does that count though?
Okay. Well, I mean, let's take a look at this. Your lips pressed against each other's.
Yes.
It meant something.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
Like I wasn't dead.
Yeah, alive. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the feeling.
Yeah.
And did it make your heart beat faster than being completely stopped? How it was?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not dead.
If I had to do my first kiss over again, I would want all of those things.
Really?
Yes, that's the best first kiss. It's someone you care about.
Well, I didn't know if it
It
counted.
means something. You'll remember it forever.
I will. I will remember the like after part of it. You know.
Oh, yes.
I was a little struggling at the beginning part.
Well, yes. Well, afterwards, I don't know if you felt this way. You just can't stop thinking about it, and you just sort of feel the sort of soft pressing against you, and almost taste him just for a little bit, and it doesn't go away for a while.
I think his tusks are growing back.
You felt a little.
Just a little bit of tusk.
Ooh.
Yeah. What was your first kiss like, though?
It wasn't as romantic. It was just a dare.
Oh, really?
Yes.
With who?
I don't know. Just someone. I don't remember too much.
That's weird. You said you never forget it.
I sure did. It was just just pretty young, and just kids just saying like, oh, you kiss each other now.
Okay,
Just one of
okay.
those types of games.
I think kids do that sort of stuff a lot.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But I don't remember his name.
Oh. Do you remember the softness of his lips?
I do. Yes. It was a good day.
Yeah, today's pretty cool too.
Well, do you think things will change now between you?
Oh, no, I mean, he might have a big crush on me now, you know,
Are
but...
you interested?
Oh, I don't know. You know.
Well, sometimes boys like it. Why am I telling you this? Your mom's a lady of the night.
Yeah,
But
I know.
sometimes boys like it if you are a little bit aloof, a little bit cold to them afterwards. Like maybe they did something wrong and they don't even know what it was.
Really?
Yes.
Like the play the games.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit of just keep him guessing. Like, did I say something? Did I do something? Was I a bad kisser?
Okay.
And that'll put him on the defensive where you want him.
That's right.
And then you cut his throat and fucking kill him. I'm just kidding about that. No.
Okay. Because I don't want to do that
No,
one.
of course not.
Okay.
He's our friend.
Okay. Well, all right. Have fun with your flask, okay?
All right, I will.
I'm going to go write in my journal.
Have fun drawing.
Okay.
All right, as everyone concludes their evening activities, the journey, looking at the map and the distance, it's about 800 miles to Darktow from Uruk Hazel. Yeah, essentially. The ship normally...
Jesus Christ. We should solve this at some point, right? We should get some beanbags or something.
Rotate it.
There you
Maybe
go.
if we just
There you go.
if you roll it the other direction, it straightens it out. Did you know that?
Put it under my. You just do. Okay. There we go.
Now it's not centered. Whatever, it's fine. You guys deal with your map. It's not mine. It's your map. Do what you want. So, the not my responsibility. So your ship is actually traveling faster than it normally was as part of the blessing that Avantika received. It can achieve about 55 miles.
An hour?
No, an entire day of travel.
Okay. Jesus.
Which is a bit faster than a general sailing ship, which this would be, which is why the mistake can go faster, but they are a pair. So you're looking at about 14 days of travel.
Whoa. To Darktow?
To Darktow, yeah.
14 days?
Welcome to being on the open seas, man.
Shit.
Didn't have bullet trains in D&D. You have 11 days of supplies. There will have to be some sort of supply stop or a way of handling that.
So, I have a thing called Create Food and Water.
I do too.
And we can mix it up with the normal food so it doesn't taste as bad.
That is going to make this journey not an issue when it comes to supplies. Look at that. Divine magic.
Teamwork.
No, you don't have to stop that. All right, great. So
sorry, it was just like burn an entire encounter. Like, yeah, fuck
No, it's
whatever
great.
else you made.
It's great.
Water the only thing we need? Like, do we need any other supplies to make this trip, or I don't know?
not to get to Darktow, but at Darktow there will be repairs made to the other ship and possibly some small repairs to the ship for its journey, and any other supplies you would need while there. But it's a 14-day journey at full speed. During this time, a couple things. One, you guys can decide to, if you want to, learn how to run a boat. So that being the case, we get to decide what types of skill sets you want to pick up on out here on the ocean. So that being the case, we have the quartermaster. Quartermaster is the one who has the most authority under the captain of a ship. They take over if the captain's unable to. They divvy up plunder, or whenever you board a prize vessel, they decide what to take and what to leave. They generally helm that whole process there, as far as pirate ships are concerned. There's the navigator or the sailing master. You do have Orly hired to do that for you, but Orly can also train one of you to be a backup in case Orly somehow
I was
vanishes.
about to say anything. I feel like being able to go by the stars or otherwise is something I might be able to do very well. But
You can both train it if you want to. Like, you can overlap.
You have memory.
I know which direction is north at all times. If I don't forget anything. I'm real smart
Fair.
in the game. Just in the game.
Okay.
Lording that rap battle over.
We have the bosun. Bosun is in charge of the ship itself, keeping it top shape for travel and battle. They handle looking over the wood, the canvas, the ropes, making sure that everything's solid and functional. They lead shore parties for supplies and repairs, and oversee activities like dropping and weighing the anchor, setting the sails, cleaning the deck, things like that. So just start thinking of things you might be interested in. There's the Cooper, which makes and maintains barrels for storage, food and water. There's the Carpenter, which is the one that actually repairs the ship's structural integrity when it takes damage. They answer to the bosun. They kind of keep the hull, the masts, and the yardarms functional. There's the Master Gunner, who organizes the placement of shot, powder, the fuse, and aiming the ship's cannons. All right, so Not's going to want to train as the Master Gunner. And of course Powder Monkey, which is the next one below, who basically just runs all the stuff.
Powder monkey?
Yeah, Powder Monkey. Powder Monkey.
Maybe I'll apprentice as that.
Apprentice
first.
the Powder Monkey, and then it should be needed. You will become, hopefully, a good Master Gunner. So anyway, those are the most important aspects. Like, everyone will kind of learn a little bit about sailing as you go, but start getting an idea, if you want to right now, of which one of those you'd want to specifically kind of begin to focus on. So
What does the bosun do again?
He runs the manager of the ship, like the office manager, right? Like keeps it running.
Make sure that all the canvas, the ropes, the wood, everything's kind of in good condition.
I have some experience being a quartermaster, so I'll do that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
That.
He said quartermaster, not bosun.
I guess I'll do the bosun stuff. I feel like I was really bad at it.
We'll find out. So train as the bosun. Which actually, to that point, the next morning, as everyone begins to kind of go about the first real day out here in the Lucidian Ocean, clear blue sky with dappled bits of cloud around you, the smell of sea salt and foam and spray making its way as it splashes across the front of the bow. Avantika catches up to you with Vera being called up to the side. She goes, Vera, if you would be so kind, I would like to call, let's say, the upmost members of the crew, please, to the deck. And maybe some of your friends as well.
Of course, I'll bring them up.
As you all kind of gather on the deck, Avantika goes, I appreciate all of the hard work you've put into this, my crew, and yours. As we are making our way back, it is important that we properly balance the endeavor here and make sure that both training that has been inquired about is properly disseminated. And out of curiosity, and with no disrespect to you, Vera, I will be replacing you as the ship's quartermaster until we return to Darktow with our Captain Tusktooth. Vera kind of looks taken aback and briefly offended, and then, but of course, my captain. So, quartermaster, time to start paying attention.
Indeed.
She begins to divvy out responsibilities to the rest of you in the various positions that you requested to start learning. Some elements of the journey have you moving over to the mistake, some of them moving back, especially for the repairs elements, and whoever decides they want to be the carpenter, if anybody. And some of you want to. That's up to you.
Strong.
I'm strong. Maybe I should be the
Do you
carpenter.
have any?
I've got
Nothing.
nothing.
It's up to you.
What was
That's
that
not a bad idea.
position in barrels? And
Barrels?
Makes and maintains
Hey,
barrels.
you've been around barrels your whole life.
I kind of already know how to make a barrel.
Do you want to be the bosun?
I was thinking the one where you actually have to go out and find supplies. I might be really good at that.
That is the bosun.
Yeah, I'll take the
Okay,
bosun.
then I'll do the carpenter.
All right, there we go. So note that somewhere on your character that those are the
be the
positions you're
Cooper.
training on this journey.
Yeah.
All right, Cooper, got it.
How to make
What's up?
making
gunner.
barrels.
Well, the powder monkey.
Powder monkey for now.
For now. Working my way up.
Alrighty. So, a few days into this journey, we'll say because you're training as the carpenter,
Yes.
jester, the mistake is kind of keeping in time with the Squall Eater, and you are brought it slows down a bit, and you're brought over to the opposite side. And there, in looking around, you wander under the deck and find that at one of the tables, you see Waldek, who's one of the deckhands of the other ship, is currently sitting at a table with what looks like a large tankard of really, really rough grog or ale, biting his lower lip, and he has his sleeve pulled up, and you can see Orly has this unique kind of what looks almost like a bowstring of some kind that's wrapped between two fingers, an inkwell, and a needle that's tied up in it, and he's currently halfway through doing this kind of really good-looking elaborate tattoo across the arm of this deckhand.
Whoa.
He's got his patch over his eye, kind of right up against one of the portholes where the light's coming through, and he's using it for perspective. And he's just he's almost lording over this smaller, kind of thin human, and kind of gets over.
Wait there.
Can I go stand over his shoulder and just stare at what he's doing?
Yeah, you keep watch, and you can see he's doing this kind of curled mermaid that is coming up and kind of on one hand is kind of holding on at the hip, and the other one is picking what looks like a fruit off of a tree. You begin to question the design a bit, and Orly just kind of says offhand,
It's what he requested, huh?
Why are you having a mermaid pick fruit if she's in the water?
he's sitting there going like, well, I had a rough ride with some scurvy a few years back, and two things I like are the idea of ladies in the sea that can save me from scurvy.
Oh, that's really smart. It's very meaningful.
Orly kind of chuckles under his breath. It's very well done. And you can see now, like, the other tattoos that are across his body were probably done by him on himself.
Hey, Orly. I'm training to be a carpenter, did you know?
Yeah. I was unaware, actually, but maybe you should ask around for the man who's doing the repairs around this place.
Yeah, I will definitely do that, but I also want to learn how to do tattoos. Can you teach me that?
I can try and teach you some of them.
I'm a really good artist, Orly.
My skills. However, there's I got kind of a specific talent with some of this here.
Yeah, it's a thing that you wrap around your fingers and then you go like this.
Kind of. Yeah, do you mind?
The guy's like,
I'm a really good artist, don't worry.
sure. And so Orly helps kind of show you how he threads this and gets the needle set up. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Oh, jeez.
Performance.
It's artistry.
Oh no, performance.
Oh, we'll say dexterity if you really want to.
Yeah, I'll do dexterity. Woo, 17.
17. Picking up where the initial kind of partial ink sketches were, you actually continue to fill in the rest of the upper torso and do a very good job. You can see where the style does shift in the art, but it's not abrasive. It just continues and is rather nice. And
Do you think maybe your mermaid would want some googly eyes?
he goes, no, I appreciate that, but no.
Are you sure? I think it would really make her look really
He
good.
starts to pull his arm away from you. Orly kind of puts his giant turtle hand on your shoulder and goes,
I don't recommend messing with the artistic vision.
I understand. I don't want people messing with my artistic vision either.
There you are.
You and me, Orly, we're going to be fast friends.
I like the idea of that. Point of order.
Did you say porn of order?
Point of order. You don't happen to have any sort of, like, gem dust, do you?
Gem dust. Like a gem that's been powdered?
Yeah.
Or like ink?
Oh, I have plenty of ink. It's more,
Wait, are you trying to make like a sparkly ink?
more or less.
I mean, I don't have any powdered gems, but I could probably powder some gems.
I picked up this technique years ago from the
some of the individuals that spawned from the legacy of the island folk. It allows me to instill a mighty ink spot.
And he kind of, as he does that, he kind of flexes his arm, and you watch as the tattoo kind of shimmies ever so slightly, and you watch his muscles kind of bulge a bit.
Oh my god. If I do that, will you teach me how to do that? If I give you some dust?
See. It's not so much something that can be easily tar and mold, and it's something bequeathed by an elder.
Do you want to bequeath me?
No.
What if you really like me, though?
We'll see how time goes by. But for the time being, just let me know if I can be of service.
He talks to you about it, and he gives you kind of an overview of his capabilities. So for different types of gem dust, he can imbue somebody with a series of tattoos that can alter elements of their physical self. It's not inexpensive, and each person can only have it once ever. So it's not like you can have multiple. But like for 2,200 gold worth of ruby dust, you can imbue a permanent +1 to strength. For 2,200 gold worth of emerald dust, he can do a permanent +1 to dex. So he runs down the stat sheet there. The most expensive one's Constitution. That's 2,500 worth of diamond dust, but there are all the different gem types there. He can also imbue certain resistances. Those are more expensive. Those are 5,000 gold worth of fire opal dust for fire resist, and 5,000 gold worth of black sapphire dust for cold resist.
Oh my god.
But he has the capability of imbuing essentially magical permanent tattoos.
That is amazing.
I have a jeweler's kit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my jewelry.
It's a shitload of jewels.
Yeah, that's something.
That's a lot of jewels.
We have some, don't we?
Yeah, we have some.
And some stuff that we don't want to get rid of. But
Yeah.
I put some magic tattoos.
Oh my gosh, do they like shimmer though? Do they look sparkly on your body? Do they look like shiny?
You can see aspects of based on what enchantment it is, like an Orly. His is specifically like an aquamarine dust. It has this kind of faint aquamarine light blue shimmy to it. Like when as soon as the light hits it, it kind of glitters across.
Oh, fuck.
Aquamarine dust being the one that boosts charisma.
Heads to
Orly,
eye and
you're so
glittery tattoos.
charismatic.
Many folk have said that.
I will
Alan Rickman.
definitely want to learn this from you, and I probably, once I get a little more rich and I have some powdered gems, I'm going to have you do it to me.
Well, looks like you're just gonna have to keep me employed for quite a while.
Yeah, don't get hurt, okay?
Don't get me hurt.
And he goes back to finishing up the tattoo on that individual.
Okay, what was the guy's name that was getting the tattoo?
That was Walduck.
Waldick. Well, Waldick, I'll see you later.
Okay.
I'm going to go carpenter some stuff.
All right.
Holy shit.
So, roughly 8 days into this journey, you've moved about 100 miles off the shore of the southern island of Buali when a small horn sound goes off on the Squall Eater. It's a small horn.
I had a
very small.
flashback.
I know. Yeah, no, this wasn't meant to be an epic horn that I totally failed on. This is intentionally a small horn. Glancing at the top, you can see Avantika has climbed to the center of the main mast and to where this one of the crow's nests up top. And looking down, kind of points to you forward and goes, "Quartermaster, call 2 of your compatriots that you trust to the top with me."
Will do. Jester. Deuce.
yeah.
Up top.
Oh, yeah, I like it up there.
All right, so you guys climb up the main mast to the crow's nest, and there you see Avantika with a spyglass. And she leans into the three of you, directing mainly towards Ford, and goes, "So, now that we are at sea, I want to show you something." And she pulls out the spyglass and holds it over to you and kind of helps you point it in a direction. Here you see what looks to be a vessel. A little ways off on the horizon, a little bit north of where you are, like a northwestward direction. She kind of whispers over your shoulder so the rest of you can hear. "So, glancing at this ship ahead of us, it appears to be a Concord ship. A shipping vessel, probably, carrying trade goods. It appears to be equipped for rapid travel, but we could head it off. As my quartermaster, I ask you for your opinion. What should we do?"
Oh, well, sure, it's a ship of innocence. We don't want to stray from our path, correct?
Take a look. What do you see?
I'll use the spyglass.
Make a perception check.
Torturing orphans on the deck.
20.
20. Okay. Glancing at it, it's a pretty well-made ship. It's meant for speed. It doesn't appear to be heavily manned. It's not carrying or transporting people. It doesn't seem to be a transport ship of any means. You see a handful of small sailors on board with a hand crossbow or a saber that's sheathed at its side. You see on the deck a handful of crates that were not kept in beneath, which means it's probably pretty well packed. It does appear to be Concord colors, so it's probably traveling. Since traveling southward, you would gather it's probably recently finished, especially with your experience as a sailor, finished stocking up on all its materials, its travel supplies, and its goods, and is based on the path it's heading southward. It's either going to arc around to Taldore or be heading in the direction of Marquette, or possibly, if it's feeling risky, the Shattered Teeth.
Captain, are you in a habit of intercepting said vessels in your time at sea?
Depends if it's if we can do so quickly without losing any sort of momentum, perhaps. Not all, ships are boarded and there's a loss of life. Most, I'd say, probably 80% of encounters out here is just intimidation. Most let us take what we want and continue on our way. They don't want to die.
It's important that you know in my previous life I've had encounters with pirating vessels as well, and most of those experiences I did not enjoy.
Well, to be fair, there are plenty of assholes on these waters, so it does not surprise me. But it is your choice, I say. You may talk amongst your friends, but there is opportunity.
You say no need for a loss of life.
Not unless they, how do you say, are stupid.
Or stubborn.
Either or.
Well, my fellow bosun and navigator to-be, bosun and carpenter.
I'm a carpenter for
I had that
learning to
wrong.
be a carpenter.
Okay, carpenter and
And a really good tattoo artist.
what are you?
A bosun.
Oh, well, I had that completely fucking backwards. I take real good notes. What say you on such a dangerous expedition as this?
May I?
Oh, yes, of course.
I'll take a look at this thing.
Make a perception check.
22.
22, okay. You make out the same details he does. Nothing catches your attention. Nothing about it seems out of the ordinary per se, but it does seem to be a vessel that is filled with its payload and making its way south.
Let me see.
Make a perception check.
Only because I would totally do it if
Yeah,
they were
you
both
would.
looking, and I rolled like shit. I just thought, I think there's a ship.
Well,
You're not wrong.
obviously the decision is yours, but we are low on supplies, which means we have more to lose. If something goes wrong, we lose vital members of our crew or burn through magic ability, we're going to be without food. Whereas I'm sure they're probably very well stocked and prepared for these sorts of eventualities. I feel like we would be coming in from a place of weakness. That's my initial thought.
Jester?
Oh man, I don't know. I'd be okay with it, I guess.
You're up for a scrap on the seas.
Well, it doesn't have to be a scrap like Avantika said. It could be, just like go in and take stuff, but maybe we could also give them something.
What would we give them?
I don't know, like new names or pretty drawings or...
Fine art.
Yeah, we could just, make it a fun time for them.
An aggressive trade. Interesting.
Very well.
What is your decision?
As long as we abstain as well as we can from violence, and as long as your men in the crew understand my disgust at such tactics, I think we can make our way towards an intercept.
You watch as this kind of playful look on her face as she watches this discourse turns into this extremely intense, almost Joker-like grin. And she goes, "Well then, welcome to piracy, my friends. Come." And she jumps off the side and heads the ropes down and begins shouting off commands to people on the ship.
Escalated rather
She made
quickly.
me question what we just did.
Yeah,
I
that's-
thought it was one thing, and then her face made me think it's a whole other thing.
Well, you said we need supplies, right?
Well, I said that we were in a position of disadvantage. I don't.
I felt like your words were different before. Listen, we're gonna not use violence, all right? I'm not.
The sails shift. Is it the ropes are being pulled and
Do me
begin
a
to move
favor,
in the direction of
spread
an
the word
interception?
amongst the rest of us, right? And make sure the rest of the crew hears as well. I don't want innocent bloodshed if it can be helped.
I mean, whatever, Ford. I guess we can do that if you want to. I don't care.
Thank you, Jester.
I'm already down. I'm not there anymore.
All right.
I feel like this is somehow connected to your previous bad decisions.
Nope.
Shit.
No. Is the big
Back.
ogre?
Bouldergut?
Yes, that name.
Yes, Bouldergut is on this ship. She has been moved from the Mistake, partially because Bouldergut acts as a bodyguard to Avantika, and because the other ship itself is in serious need of repairs. They assumed probably don't put the giant heavy ogre on it.
Can I find Bouldergut?
Sure enough, Bouldergut is down there currently getting ready with what looks like a giant great club that is carved from an older masthead.
Bouldergut. I'm sure that is just for show, yes?
Right. For show.
It's important you understand I have an agreement with the captain. No unnecessary bloodshed. You will make sure that the rest of the men know this.
She kind of looks back and Avantika goes, "Oh, don't worry. You are the quartermaster. You are the one who is to be building any sort of ships that we encounter, so you choose your people."
I know. Making sure you know. That is all.
My imagination, that felt vaguely like a threat.
At this point, you watch as Ipes, who is the second mate of the ship, this kind of sunburned gnome, begins scurrying up the rope to go ahead and put their flag on display. Ipes, I-P-E-S-S.
What does the flag look like?
The flag on this is like a dull gray-purple color, and it has a similar sketch of the same eye tattoo that Avantika has on her chest.
All right.
As that goes up and the ship begins to move to intercept, glancing through the eyeglass in the distance, you can see the other ship noticing the approach, and there is now a bunch of chaos as they all begin running up and down the ship, notifying everybody else on there. What are you doing to prepare, guys?
I'm running to find Not, our master gunner in training. I'll say, Not, I need you to keep an eye on those guns. We're not looking.
All right, you motherfuckers! I need hollow charges loaded! I need extra fuses on every motherfucking cannon! Get me hollow shells loaded with extra charges! I want 4 cannonballs on every cannon! Move!
again, we're not looking to sink this ship, okay? We're going to try and board, get what we need, and let them go. I don't want unnecessary violence.
I run in with a keg of black powder that I've been building. Are we fighting? Yeah. Is this a fight?
Load him up, extra charges.
Who's trying to poke her ass?
Short fuses.
Okay.
The angry, like tough, red-bearded dwarf that actually acts as the cannon master of the ship. So his name is a Fiskin Duth. And he goes like, "I'm interested in possibly getting involved, but this is too much fun to watch. Keep going, Goblin. I'm liking it.
If you're not gonna help, stand out of my way.
All right, I've got 5-pounders, 8-pounders, 12-pounders, short fuses, and 20-pound kegs.
Two of the deckhands who act as powder monkeys are also helping like get things organized.
What are we doing? What's going on?
We're doing great, Bo. You're
What am I
going to
doing?
join me as we pull alongside the ship. You're gonna
Okay.
be part of the boarding party. Go up above.
Okay.
Not. And I pull not close and I say, if you fucking fire on that ship before they fire on us, you will never get into the academy. Do you understand?
The academy?
All right, so we're not fighting.
The letter that I have that grants me access, if you want that for Caleb,
Oh, I see.
yeah. So act real tough and yell real loud. Don't fire on them unless they fire on us. You understand?
Though I would recommend if you're gonna fire, do a warning shot. Tends to get them a bit spooked in their boots and slowing down.
So warning shots, okay.
Across the map, not at the ship. In front of it, away from it, but just enough to show a little bit of power.
To me, it seems like the closer, the more intimidating, right?
There's a bit of a range of error with these weapons. They're not a perfect art.
So, don't fire at them?
As long as you don't hit the ship.
All right.
I'm sure you'll.
Come on, you motherfuckers, get ready to fire!
At this point, the sails are fully unfurled. Speed is picking up. The other ship was trying to gain speed, and it is a very fast ship. But as it tries to move away, it ends up putting you at a parallel pace. At which point, the other master gunner kind of leans into you and goes,
About now, a big fight, I think.
To fire?
I want them to slow down, eh?
All right. I'm so excited. I'm just gonna take a swig.
I'm gonna leave you.
he gets
to it.
behind you and almost like not quite like making the vase and ghost, but it's like trying to help show you exactly how to set things up and get the cannon ready and aim
Are
it.
you with us?
It's more of like an uncle and a.
I'm gonna leave you to it. I'm going back up.
Okay, I'll cast
upstairs.
a quick message and say, Forward, I'm about to fire my warning shot. Good to go. You can respond to this message.
At your will. Yep.
All right. I will light the fuse. I don't know how you do it.
Powder.
Powder.
ready,
Place the
fire.
shot. Put the fuse in. Aim and then fire.
Okay.
So
Do I
you,
have to
you
roll
do
for
all
this?
that. Yeah. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Okay, that's a natural 1.
Oh no.
I'm so excited. Okay. So
Ready!
you light.
Kind of goes.
Yeah. You light the fuse.
Fire! What happened? What's going on?
Yeah, that's
What order did you put them in?
I put the fuse in first. Then I put the powder in. Then one of the balls. Is that right?
Don't think that's how.
I think I did
I
the.
think you fucked it
I
up.
think I did the ball first and then the powder.
I think that's how that. Right, we have to clean that cannon.
Shit,
You're
shit.
gonna have to clean.
Let's go to another cannon.
All right, we'll move over to this one. So you've been setting up the other cannon. So you put the powder 1st. Put the ball. Get the. The other cannon goes off.
At least you weren't looking at it.
There's a immediate shaking sound, what looks like splintering wood, and a bit of smoke in the vicinity. You glance over, and that cannon is fucked.
I come running in. Do I need to fix a hole?
It's not wood,
Caleb.
but sure.
Caleb runs up from under the deck with sulfur in one hand and batshit in the other one. What is going on? Where? What is this?
Sorry.
What are we
sorry.
doing?
Technical difficulty.
This is a
Someone
room.
please tell us what the fuck is going
We
on.
are apparently committing an act of
At this point,
piracy.
Fiskin sees this and knowing your skill set, goes,
Go back upstairs. There's a lot of powder in this room.
Aren't we? Oh.
Upstairs.
You're good?
Fireboy.
I'm good.
Go. Go.
I was born
Go
to
get-
do this.
All right, so you owe us a cannon. Try again.
It was a cantrip mending.
We'll see if that would help a destroyed cannon.
That's
a lot.
not.
That's a lot of material.
I can fix it.
A single break or tear? No. That cannon's fucked.
One little thing goes.
All right, try it again. The DC's lower this time because now you've fucked up.
I got this. Are they getting away?
I mean, they're still like you guys. You've managed to head them off. They're managing to get speed, and they're curving this way, and you guys are curving to meet them.
Because there was a detonation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Intelligence check.
Yes, at your
20.
20.
Hey. Oh.
Without issue this time. Proper order with a rapid pace. Halfway through, Fiskin's like, and you do. You've got this. All right.
Hey, back off, old man.
You said it. Light the fuse. The whole thing lurches back about 2 feet, and there's like a large wooden platform that kind of catches it from the impact. The room shakes for a second, and you glance through the little side of the gun port, and you watch it hit the water, maybe about 40 feet out from the front of the other ship. At which point, you hear shouting from the other ship, and you watch as it starts to slow and come to a slower crawl, begins to give up its chase.
You
And
did
the-
it not.
The two
Text message. Forward, mission accomplished. Board at will.
Well done, now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Take a map here. So as you guys been preparing material, this is more for just a visual perspective.
Just a visual.
Just for visual.
Guys, if you live in the UK, you're gonna get some faster, cheaper shipping.
Way cheaper.
Yeah, of the art book.
These books are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is going to be available what day?
Monday.
At
Wow,
9.
this is exciting. It's
right on
But
top
also D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
But also.
Mercer.
Whoa.
So cool.
You made those?
Well, no, this was sent to me by fans of the show who actually make these, and then this was I had custom made a while back in case this ever came.
Does this ship have a grid
Yes.
printed on it or carved into it?
Yeah, lasered
Look
in.
at it.
Whoa.
So, just to give you a perspective, as you guys pull up from the side of this, eventually the two ships are brought in. Anchor is dropped.
Which one is ours?
This is yours here. This is the squall leader. So, on the opposite end, you can see the crew has all moved up to the deck. They have weapons at the ready, but not necessarily ready to fire. They're in the process of realizing they don't have much recourse at this moment. And at this point, the rest of Avantika's crew, at least a number of them, have come up on the deck as support. But you're the one who's helming this, so what are you doing?
I'll look over at Caleb. Caleb, have you any desire to intimidate some folks?
Do you need that? Yeah, okay.
Do we have a name of this?
I was going with.
Oh, their
She is intimidating.
their ship. You haven't seen it.
You know, sometimes you can be nice to people too. And make them think that they are friends.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not where I'm going. Bo,
Yeah.
team up with Boulder Gut. I want you to go. I want you to go on the opposite ship. Find me the captain
Okay.
and take. Can I see how many men now that we're close, or how many are above deck?
Yes, and just to give you kind of a brief perspective here of what you see on deck. Kind of off to the side. Those are the people you see that are all. Some of them appear to be deckhands and aren't armed aside from like a small short sword on their side. A couple of them appear to be a little better dressed, but none of them are warriors. You know, there doesn't appear to have like a very, very heavy, visible guard on the deck of the ship.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You good?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm coming with you. Just keep an eye out. Make sure no one's doing any shifty biz.
And you want no violence here whatsoever?
Not unless rules of engagement apply. Do not fire or attack unless fired upon.
Do you want me to make an announcement, maybe?
Yes.
Thaumaturgy, I'm going to project my voice very loudly onto the other ship.
Okay.
Fellow friends at sea, we wish to have a parley with your captain, and we hope to keep this entire confrontation as bloodless and reasonable as humanly possible. We will do our best to be civil and not encourage anything inappropriate over the next several minutes. We would appreciate your cooperation in this direction. And then I'm going to try and make all the doors open and available to us from the other ship with Thaumaturgy as well. I'm going to pop all their doors open.
As soon as that sentence comes to an end, you hear a rapid clattering of heavy wood against wood. As all the various ports and doors in the interior of the ship all manage to slam open at once. All the members on the opposite side kind of look at each other. Make an intimidation check.
What number is that? Yes, I have like a number in there. Let's see what it does. That's a 22.
22? Woo! They all kind of look at each other and begin to back even further away from the edge. One of them rushes down and goes deeper into the ship, and a moment later returns with one figure which appears to be better dressed than the others. You see very, very bright blonde hair and kind of a relatively well-dressed leather tunic over decent captain's clothing. Comes to the front and goes, "I am the captain of the Stormcap. Who am I to be parleying with?"
I'll step forward and reach for gloves that aren't there and not do that. My name is Ford. I'm a representative of the squall leader here. If you will but humor us for a few moments, I'm afraid we're very short on supplies. We need to replenish our stores and perhaps enrich our pockets. If your men behave, I'm sure we will all get out of this very little worse for wear.
I am Captain Jules Erog of the Stormcap, and I would very much like the lives of my men spared. What supplies do you need? Perhaps there can be a trade organized.
Indeed. Deuce, food, water?
Definitely food, water. We're also in the need of some gems if possible. I'll also say that if they require any healing at all of anybody who might be sickly on the ship, I'd be happy to offer my services.
Oh, indeed, yes. The well-being of your men, obviously, was something that we would easily tend to.
His expression gets really confused. It's like, okay.
What's Captain Avantika doing right now? Can I go?
Avantika's on the other ship, kind of just leaning against the opposite side, watching this happen, like just keeping an eye on everything.
Now, in exchange for our goodwill in this interaction, I'm sure you won't mind if we peruse below decks and just see if there's anything of interest.
Looks across the rest of his men, looks over towards you again.
I'm, by the way, human looking right now. So
Okay.
Smeed.
The intimidating thaumaturgy casting Smeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Do as you will.
Fantastic. Boulder Gut! And I'll call the ogre up to just board their ship and stay on the gangplank between ours and theirs.
Boulder Gut takes a step towards the gangplank and goes, "Grr." Looks over, Avantika shouts, perhaps not having her on the plank is a good idea?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, on their ship, on that side of the gangplank.
At that point, Boulder Gut backs up and does like a running jump and hits the other side, and you watch the ship kind of shift in the water from just the impact of the weight of this ogre.
Yeah, I gotta remember how big she is. Damn.
So now you have that.
Our friend here is going to play chaperone, right? Ensure everyone stays nice and happy up here. Bo, would you mind coming with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let us know if you need anything.
Will do. And again, I must emphasize, no tricky business. We're in good moods. Be smart to keep it that way.
And I fire a firebolt straight up into the sky in an arc over and let it land in the ocean.
A firebolt?
Yeah, firebolt.
Yeah.
You don't want us to be unhappy.
Make an intimidation check.
11.
Okay. The captain kind of thinks to himself and nods. Turns and steps aside from the doorway that he's been standing in.
I'll motion to a third, so it's not just Bo and myself. One of the other crew members of the Squall Eater to come with us downstairs.
Okay. At your disposal right there would probably be Vera, who was the previous quartermaster, but she's a bit older. She looks a bit, not quite geriatric, but is in her older years.
We're trying to go with Squally there, people.
Oh, okay.
Waldick or
Vera Ipsis.
Ipsis or Waldick.
It was Vera Ipsis or Norgals. Vera Norgals is her name. So, who are you calling? Or Ipis is the.
Yeah, let's have Ipis come.
Okay. So the giant bushy bearded gnome comes by and has his kind of short sword drawn.
All right,
We're going shopping.
let's do it. Lead on.
And so the three of you make it across the gangplanks. And so now the group is 4 of you, including Bouldergut. The large opening that leads down into the ship.
Where's
the rest.
captain's quarters?
Captain's quarters is underneath into the back.
Be right back. I'm gonna go into the captain's quarters.
Okay. So as you head down, almost everybody who's on the ship is up top. You see a few figures that are deckhands that are just cowering in rooms. They look scared shitless. And when you begin to walk past, you hear like, and they're just trying to stay quiet. You're in the captain's quarters. What are you doing?
I want to look for any type of important paperwork, correspondence, what these guys are traveling, logs, etc.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, and also down there, you hear in the back of your skull, books.
And books. Frumpkin, what are you doing? Put Frumpkin on my shoulder. I rolled a natural 19, so
Ooh.
24.
A number of shipping ledgers. There are books keeping tabs on payments to the crew and how long they've been hired. There is one paper you do find that is hidden in like a locked compartment beneath, but you manage to find underneath this little bit. You can slip your fingers through and pull a sheet of paper out on the opposite end of the shelf without getting it. And this is a list of the supplies on the ship.
Anything of interest?
There's food and water for the journey. There are Clovis Concord spices, Menagerie Coast specialty dried meats, tropical fruits that are specifically frozen and then brought that are slowly thawing through the journey to get them as fresh as they can to where they're going. It looks like this journey was intended to go to Marquette, to Port de Mali, the Bay of Gifts. You do see amongst all the various bits of just general supplies, cloths and clothing and silks that are specific to Menagerie Coast. There are some elements of Empire goods as well that are put in there. But the thing that catches your interest is there is one last addition. Everything else seems to be written in one type of handwriting, and there's a different type of handwriting on the final entry. And the final entry says, requested package, guarded. And the amount that was paid for that was 1,800 gold. That was received by the captain on this ledger to keep on the down low.
I'm gonna immediately look around. Do I see any other safes, anywhere where you would hide a guarded package in here?
In here, you do not. Not within this chamber.
All right, I go meet Ford and Norgold. Nope, Ipris. That's who's with us.
Okay.
I go meet them.
Okay. Okay. Well, while you're looking, are you guys waiting for Bo, or are you heading?
Yeah, we would go together.
Okay. So Bo joins up with you guys.
Which fine.
Oh, entire inventory of the ship. That looks interesting.
Oh, yes, indeed it does.
Who wants to ask about that?
Oh, I believe I will.
All right.
Captain.
So actually, with as high as your investigation check was, and a continued investigation of the room, searching for any sort of thing, you do not find this package, but you do find underneath one of the small kind of tossed, somewhat mildewed rugs that mark the floor, there is a section of floorboard that pulls open, and you can see that there is a small chest that is locked. And when you kind of pull and kind of shake it a bit, it's filled with quite a bit of coin.
I grab the whole chest.
Okay.
Is it heavy?
It's pretty heavy.
I grab the whole chest.
Nice. First room.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's real good.
Do you think this is the shipment? Think this is that?
Nope.
Would I deduce that this is that, or no? No? No.
The way, as you're moving and shifting it, it sounds like it's filled with a lot of coin.
So there's a different package here.
Well, I'm gonna find out one way.
All right.
I'll call over Boulder Gut. Boulder Gut, do me a favor and just just lob this over onto the other ship for me, would you?
Boulder Gut grabs it with one hand and kind of just walks over. As Boulder Gut makes her way onto the deck, you can see the captain notice it and kind of just sigh loudly.
I
and
know,
hang,
Captain. I hate to
hang his
be
head.
more of an inconvenience than this already is, and I want to get the storm cap on its way as quickly as possible. Would you do me a favor and have all of your men come down here and assemble at the bow of the ship, please? This is just getting too interesting, and I just can't have you spread out all over the place.
Men, please, to the bow of the ship.
Can
And
I
they all
pull
begin to shift and make their way that direction. As the captain begins to move, goes, all I ask, please, is leave enough supplies for us to make our journey.
But of course, Captain. What are we? Monsters?
Does not break eye contact with you and just gives you this serious dark glare.
I just start lobbing firebolts into the sea like I'm skipping stones. Every 10 or 15
It
seconds.
certainly keeps the other side
I'm
nervous.
just waving at them.
We'll make our way below decks to see what we can see.
Okay, so you go past into the cargo hold, which is below here. You like on the level where the captain's quarters are, and just below there's the rest of the cabin quarters for the rest of the crew, and then below that is the cargo hold. And as you make your way past the various kind of hiding other members of the deckhand crew, down in the lower cargo hold, you can see there are a series of crates and barrels that contain all the supplies that were on the ledger, you would assume, like of all the different trade materials. Yeah.
I'll peek my head into one of those rooms where the crews are hiding. I'll say, you, and you. Get your ass up. I want these crates taken above deck and put on our ship. Do it quickly, do it quietly.
Which ones?
And I'll point out the ones with the food and some of the water and some of those frozen fruits as well for scurvy needs.
Okay. They all kind of, trying to keep a distance from you, scurry down and begin lifting things, at which point a voice below goes, what's going on? And they kind of go, and they begin to move stuff back up to the top.
I'll grab one of them before they... I heard that.
I kind of crack my knuckles behind Ford.
You know, if you were on the sea long enough, you would know that I'm the type that only asks a question once. Who else is down here?
Make an intimidation check.
23.
Ooh. Eyes wide, you can see the pupils kind of gyrating in a very, very quick shaking motion. I don't know his name. He came with one of the pieces of cargo. He just stays down there.
That's the package.
Yep, that would be it. You can go.
And again, is continuing to grab and pull the crates up.
I'm gonna cast message. Ford, we are reloaded and ready to fire. If you want me to fire, literally reply with any word. You can reply to this message.
Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Well, I don't feel like we need reinforcements for this, right?
I mean, I feel deeply capable, but I feel deeply capable.
Yasha?
Yo, Yasha!
From across the other side,
Oh,
stepping
sorry.
up onto the gangplank.
Yasha!
Yes?
Come here.
Kind of bounds across the gangplank onto the other side. What do you need? Yeah. She heads down to the ship with you.
I think a secret package is a person. Think there's a person. think he's a secret package because he's on this ledger and it's different handwriting. Anyway, let's go find the person.
Yeah. We'll make our way further into the hold and try and find the source. The source of this voice.
And just because everyone's on the deck, I'm just going to do a quick detect magic and just scan the boat and see if anything.
The whole boat?
Everybody in the boat, and just going to do
While he's doing that, I'm going to say, I need a volunteer.
From the other crew?
And I will also say I'm going to take and that trunk that the chest they just threw on as well.
The chest does not emit a magical presence. In order to really check the other ship, you'd have to go across onto its bow and kind of scan and walk across it. It's a 30 foot.
It's 30 foot. Okay, at the very least, I'm gonna get close and sort of walk the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As you begin to make your way over towards the bow, concentrating on the spell, a tiny little magic source below you, deep in the ship, catches your attention.
In the other ship?
In the other ship, yes.
There's something magic down below.
Well, this is happening.
I say that all the time to my lady friends.
You guys head down into the cargo hold.
Super on edge
Right.
and guarded.
Make perception check.
Dark vision goggles.
Okay.
Okay.
I will aid you.
Thank you. I will take it. Oh my god, I rolled a 3 and a 4.
There's something magic down
7.
Mr. Caleb,
Okay. Looking inside, it is lightless, and appears to be empty aside from the series of crates and shipping containers that are in here, the ones that you've had moved up to the top. And between the three of them, they've done like 2 quick up and downs. They've brought a fair amount of supplies so far, and they'll continue if you tell them to.
I can't see shit, but I don't trust it.
I can.
I just. Hang on, maybe if I readjust, let me just close my eyes for a second. Okay, why don't you try?
Yeah. Can I give it a better look with my dark vision?
No, because you spent your turn helping her.
Yes,
so
of course.
technically, it is both of you looking.
Caduceus aired the fact that he is a little nervous, so I place my hand on Caduceus' shoulder and then look through Frumpkin's eyes to see what's going on.
Getting a little bit of magic down there. I don't know what it is, but it's making me nervous.
Okay. Looking through from inside, so make a perception check.
Oh, I wasn't trying to do a perception check. I'm not searching for anything. I'm just
keeping an eye. Okay. So you're just keeping
I don't want to,
tabs on the
yeah,
situation.
That's exactly what.
Okay.
I just want to let it known that I'm asking for a volunteer from the other crew.
Oh God.
I need a volunteer.
They'll look at each other.
It can be anyone, but there should be at least one.
The captain steps forward and goes, "For what?"
For a special present. It's a treat.
Make a persuasion check.
Sounds awful.
This sounds like the worst thing ever. Oh man.
17.
A treat.
Go, Liam. That way.
Liam?
Liam.
Liam.
One of the, I know, so close. One of the deckhands looked and he was like, "Me?"
Come on.
Onto this wall eater.
Come sit next to me.
Comes across the gangplank over next to you.
I bust out the tattoo stuff that Orlay's been teaching me. I'm gonna give him a tat. While that's
Oh, unmolested except for.
And that's how I got this.
Where do you want it?
I'm having bad flashbacks.
He's just like, what?
It'll be so good. It's going to be so beautiful.
This poor guy.
You got a test on somebody.
Ooh, I like it. Let's get the gloves open. While everything's going on,
While
I'm
he's
just gonna
grabbing, he
spend...
looks over at the captain very mournfully, and the captain's like,
It's just going to be one smiley line with 2 tusks sticking out of it.
Oh.
You've been abducted now by Captain Tusktooth.
make a dexterity check.
You've been abducted. Congratulations.
Whoa.
You've been hit by,
19.
So over the next 10 minutes or so, you'll be able to provide a fine tattoo
Yeah, just like a
of that
smiley
simple
face,
design.
but with tusks.
You got it. He's like biting his lip.
Just deal with that. That's gonna be good.
I'll make my way forward into the hold, even though we haven't seen much.
Okay. All right, so you move ahead into the hold about 10 feet or so. There's like a small pathway that's built between all the different elements of crates and barrels to make sure you can get to the back of the hold.
Plug. Sorry.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored.
As you move around the corner, in a flash, you hear, and you see this quick arc of steel as suddenly from around the corner, a fairly well-armed man, it looks like, with kind of sun-darkened skin, short hair pulled into a tight kind of top knot or a bun of some kind, has a two-handed, is holding a longsword two-handed, just swings at you. 3 strikes.
Ooh.
That is 24 to hit.
Hits.
That is 18 to hit.
Hits.
And, ooh, that is a 26 to hit.
Misses.
All right, so in 3 hits there, that is 16 points of slashing damage. 13 points of slashing damage. And 18 points of slashing damage.
Amazing.
I call out on the deck. Captain, your quartermaster is under attack.
How do you know that?
He's looking through Pumpkin.
Oh, cool.
Avantika is just and goes, I trust he can take care of himself, huh?
You want to send me down?
We'll see.
All right.
All right, now I need you to roll initiative, and roll initiative for Yasha, and I'll do for Boulder
I don't know if I trust Gil. I'm sorry, Gil. I don't trust you.
Wow.
Oh. All
18.
right.
I'll take that 18.
All right, I said 25 to 20? All right, so, Bo, you're 18?
Yasha rolled a 19.
Oh, so Yasha's at first.
I rolled
All right.
6.
Okay, good to know. All right, so the... Alrighty, so Yasha is up first. So seeing this flashing of blades across forward four gets knocked back, careening into some of the nearby crates. You watch as they shift from the impact. You hear the cracking of wood, and as soon as the figure pulls back, getting the blade in defensive position, backing up against what looks to be like a corner that was set with a table and a chair, and this is essentially the guarding post of this figure below. You can see there's a very, very faint bit of light in the corner from what looks to be a hooded lantern that's been faced towards the inside of the crate, so it wouldn't give any sort of light that revealed his location. But you see him going into defensive position. Yasha's up first.
Does she look armored?
Armored, yes.
Oh, armored, okay.
Like half plate.
With her bonus action, she will rage, and she
All
will
right.
make 2 attacks with the Magician's Judge.
Go for it.
Yes, that's not good. That's an 11.
11 misses. The blade scrapes across his armor, no impact.
And a 12.
Both, the first one scrapes across the armor, causing a couple sparks to fly and kind of briefly lighting up just his position. The second time, he actually pulls the longsword up, manages to parry and cause the blade to completely miss, kind of impacting, getting stuck about an inch into the wood before she draws back angrily, gritting her teeth. Oof. That ends Yasha's turn. Bo, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna parkour off of one of the crates, and I'm gonna kind of try and come down, and I want to nail him in the temple and try and do a stunning strike. First, I'm just gonna try and hit him.
All right.
While I'm doing this, I'm gonna be like, Frumpkin, help! And then, okay, 19.
19 hits.
I actually want to ask Pumpkin to do something from on deck.
All right, we'll roll initiative.
Okay.
Does she get advantage on barrels because she's a Cooper?
I'm using my elbow.
Fucking balls. Why does this keep happening to me?
5 points of damage on that first one, and I
5
want to do a
points.
sting strike.
Stunning strike on him. All right. Con save. Oh, it's out of the box there.
His con is garbage.
That is.
Garbage. Needs to be garbage.
He has a pretty decent con, but he only rolled a 15.
No.
What's the DC?
14.
14, yeah, he saves on that one.
Hang on, wait. It's my proficiency bonus plus my, because I was afraid that I had been fucking this up, plus my wisdom, which is, together is...
It's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nope, it's still 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So the first strike hits him across the head, but he manages to resist it, pulls back, teeth gritted.
Pop, pop. Do it again.
All right.
First hit. 20.
20 hits. Roll damage for the next second strike.
Bullshit. Damage 6.
6 points of damage.
You said his con was good.
I mean, you don't know. He seemed to be pretty decent. He rolled a 15 on that one, but you can try it again.
One more time. One more time.
All right.
Key point.
Another key point. That is a 12. A
He's
12.
stunned. He's
So
stunned.
the first strike, no impact. He pulls back. He's rearing to try and deflect or at least keep you at bay. The second strike, as you crack right across the side of the head, he kind of goes down onto one knee. And you see him, his eyes kind of go wide as they're kind of rolling a little bit in the skull, and he's currently trying to shake. You rung his bell. You still have your bonus action.
And my bonus action.
With advantage if you're...
Oh, with he's stunned.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an 18 to
18
hit.
hits.
Natural 18. And another goddamn 1. 5.
5 points of damage. Alrighty. So he's stunned on his knee.
And I'm gonna look at Frumpkin again and be like, Caleb, if you're watching, I don't trust Avantika. And then that's probably all I could say.
Okay. That brings us to Boulder Gut's turn. Boulder Gut. There's not a lot of space here, so I'm gonna give her disadvantage on her attack because she has to try and swing this large great club in this enclosed space as an ogre. But kind of charging by, comes down to go ahead and do an overhead strike. But it would have advantage because stunned, so it's just a regular roll. So let me try it again. Yeah, that's natural 14. That hits. So for that, he takes 13 points of damage, and that hit. And then the other attack, 17. That hits. And another 15 points of damage. Nice. So as he's like on one knee, Boulder Gut comes around, and she whack slams. He goes, "Ugh," almost falls to the ground again. The giant impact slamming into the back of the metal. You can see the actual armor kind of dented inward from the impact. She pulls up her second strike. Down on top. This one actually sends him down on the ground, and he's like trying to get back up from that impact. And the back of the armor is like pushed in. He's kind of limited some of his mobility with the shoulder blades from the way that the metal's kind of been pushed towards his upper shoulder. That's going to end Boulder Gun's turn. It's now Frumpkin's go.
Frumpkin is going to fly over towards this gentleman and try to, with talons, rake across his head. With advantage because he's stunned, yeah? So that's a 15 or an 18.
18 hits.
18, so I cast Vampiric Touch through Frumpkin's touch. And he takes 3d6 necrotic damage.
Frumpkin can attack? That's a first, right?
Through me.
Whoa.
Me through her. Him. Damn it. That is 8 points of necrotic damage
You
to
can
him.
Wi-Fi suck HP out of somebody like that? Whoa. Yeah.
I just turn it forward and I go, Frumpkin listens to my commands! And then that's it.
Ending Frumpkin's go. Ford, you're up.
I will stand up after having gotten the holy fucking shit knocked out of me with those longsword shots and say, friend, you better be real sure this is something you want to die for. I would suggest you drop your sword. You're outnumbered. And I will take a step back.
Nice.
Okay, make an intimidation check. Because he's stunned and beat to shit, I'll give you advantage on it.
First one was 24.
Okay, that ends your turn. Yasha's up.
Yasha will walk up and attempt to grapple him into a bear hug.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check for her.
Okay.
With advantage because she is raging.
21.
Okay, he is... fails strength and dex saving throws. Doesn't say anything about his other abilities. I'll say, yeah, she grapples him. That's fine. Bo, you're up.
He's grappled?
He's currently being held by Yash, and he's like, ugh, looking right over at Ford, who's backed away, hands up.
Stunned and grappled.
I'm gonna say, look, me and this guy have been trying to be better about not hurting people. You know, we're trying to watch out for one another. The truth is, we want to talk to you. We're gonna get answers from you. It's kind of your choice if it's gonna take us beating them out of you or if you just want to give them to us. So, I'm not gonna hit you. But just know, if you feel like you're lying to me, I'm gonna punch the living shit out of you, and then you're gonna tell me what I wanted to know anyway. Understood?
And that's your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Comes to his turn. He's being held by Asha, and he kind of like shakes off the daze, grits his teeth, and just throws his sword to the ground. Cling, 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 cling.
We're not murder monsters.
Our dark-leaning thing goes.
5%.
4 points renegade, 1 point paragon.
Yeah.
Yasha's still kind of clutching him there. Yeah.
Friend. Owl. Second, we saw a little manifest that said there was some guarded parcel down below. I can only imagine that they were talking about you. Now, my friend was correct. She can punch the shit out of you. Also, we can see how well you want to swim. Or we can just make sure that you're on this boat, healed up a little bit, and sent on your way. And you can create whatever story you want. But I do need to know what you were protecting.
Still being like grappled by Yasha without saying a word. There's like this look of defeat and acceptance of one's pride. And he's just trying desperately not to engage more than he has to, and kind of glances over towards a crate that is across from where he was sitting. That would still be in his like visual perspective, but it's an unsuspecting crate pushed kind of in a cluster of others. Kind of just looks in that direction and gives a head nudge.
I move to it.
Okay.
Before I open it, I look at him and I go, "Is there a trap in this damn thing?"
Frumpkin lands on his head.
No.
If you're lying to me, I'll slit your throat.
Do I think he's lying?
Make an insight check.
I'm going to start heading over to see what the commotion is.
It's hard to read.
Okay.
It's a pretty grim fella. What are you saying?
I'm going to start heading downstairs to see what the commotion
Okay, so you're
is.
walking.
Very
All right.
gently.
Would you like googly eyes on your tattoo? Or would you just like the smiley face?
Whatever you want, please just let me go.
Google eyes it is, thank you very much.
I open the crate very carefully. Well,
As you lift it up, looking inside, there's a few heavy sacks of rice or grain or sand. You can't really tell. But they're all kind of lining it for weight on the crate. And in the center, you can see there's a kind of a pillow or like a piece of folded fabric that's kind of just folded and placed in the center. Okay, you pull the fabric back, and there you see what appears to be a very intricate wooden box of some kind. It's about maybe that big, about the size of a shoebox, if you will, but it's like really well scrolled and carved wood, like a whittler or carver had spent a lot of time to make it look very beautiful and presentery.
I pull that out of the crate.
It has these chain handles on the sides that just kind of dangle on the edge, and it has a little latch on it, and it's locked.
It's locked.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
Hey, Frumpkin, if you're listening, can you have Caleb tell Not to come down here, please?
As soon as Caleb felt Caduceus walk away, he dropped Frumpkin's sight because he didn't want to be smacked in the face.
Tapped you a couple times.
But Frumpkin would listen to you.
The captain on the top says, like, "Are we done yet?"
Nearly there.
I, look at the guy. Is this trapped?
I don't believe so.
What's your name?
Oh, I really wish you hadn't done that. I can't guarantee her reaction to that will be a positive one.
I'm trying real hard right now. Like, so hard.
Yeah, you are. You've done really well.
You've already guaranteed I lose my job and my wage. What more can you take from me?
Are you being paid to protect this?
I was.
How much?
150 gold upon my return.
I'll give him 70 gold.
You just slip into his pouch.
Yeah, I'll walk up and put it in his pouch as Josh is holding it.
He looks confused and untrusting. Like he's caught off guard by it. He's like,
We're trying real hard, man. Like actively trying real hard.
Soma.
Soma. See, now was that so hard? Did that take you being fucking rude?
He just glares at you.
Soma.
Are you coming down under?
Yeah, I probably am getting down.
Oh, hey, Cad, will you go get Nut?
Actually, while you're here.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Someone did a number on you.
Sorry. Would you mind helping this fellow out and just give him a little love?
Well, I might do both of you for a big. Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. I get the feeling you're having a really bad day.
Oh, jeez, I'll go get Nut.
I'm gonna just do a little healing spell down here, so everyone's feeling a little better. I'm gonna start doing a little. Where am I doing? Yeah, I'm gonna do a little healing on both of you. So take a few minutes while you guys figure this out.
Thank you.
All right.
He rocked me. I miss raging.
Prayer of healing on both of them. So
Okay, there you go. Nut. Bo catches up to you on the other
Oh!
Nut!
Oh! What is it?
Come here.
Stand down, men.
Hey, Caleb.
Are there any men standing near me?
There are two of the other powder monkeys that are currently playing cards.
Stand down. At ease. Wait for my signal.
14 points up for you. 14 points up for him.
Okay.
I think Frumpkin really likes me. We had a bonding moment. Frumpkin took care of me and protected me.
I know that it's true because I think he's thought
Come on, Nut.
everything small.
Come on.
We are
Okay.
the best of friends. He's the best cat that
Okay,
man
bye.
could ever have.
Where are we going? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Is Ford dead?
No. But we found someone and something.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, come here.
While we're waiting for them, can I pick up his longsword?
Yeah.
Kind of look at it.
It's pretty well made.
Well, it was. I still have. I still, by the way, have my detect magic up. Am I getting anything?
Well, it's pair of healing concentration? Or no?
So I would have had it when I came in.
When you came in, yeah, the source of magic was that box.
Oh, so is that box glowing like?
Yeah.
By the way, I suppose I would have said that box is definitely magic. I'd be very careful with that.
Yeah, all right.
Let's be gentle with that. Was it Soma, Mr. Soma?
Soma.
So, how'd you get this gig? I was just sort of curious.
I'm a hired protector.
I mean, do you work for anybody, or do you have a deal with somebody? Do you like who you work with? I mean, seems kind of a rough gig.
It is when people like you come in here and ruin it.
I mean, that's fair. This is just odd. I mean, I imagine being sent with something I didn't know anything about by God knows who. That just leave a mind to wander. I don't know.
You'd be surprised how much of an industry revolves around just that.
Yeah, I would.
He's taken aback even more.
I will say you are definitely the strangest pirates I've ever heard of.
Sort of a reluctant piracy at the moment.
You don't know the half of it.
We like to have fun at our job.
We like everybody to walk away feeling as okay with everything as possible.
We're gonna let you go now and be on our way. I'm gonna keep this as a memento. I would advise you to stay below. If you pop up, I can't guarantee the same goodwill be extended. I'm sure you understand.
Kind of nods begrudgingly.
Nice plate armor, by the way. Looks expensive.
It was. And he kind of looks over at the back part of it that's been smashed as shit by the ogre's great club.
I toss the box and not catch.
What is this? What am I doing?
Careful with that.
Very careful.
Dangerous.
What do you want me to do? Me?
I want you to open it.
Oh, Jesus.
It's magic.
Do you want to take this on our ship and let them be on their way?
What if it blows up? I don't want to blow up our ship. I already did that once today.
Magical traps.
Yeah, no,
check
it's
the
obviously
traps.
it is magical, by the
All
way.
right, step back, step back, step back. Are there any sort of alcoves or closets or chests around here or anything?
There are a number of crates in the vicinity.
Okay, I'll open a crate and put it inside.
Okay.
And then move back and use Mage Hand to try to open it.
Okay.
Or check for traps with it.
Oh, okay. Well, checking for traps, you kind of have to get close and kind of inspect it.
Oh, well then I will check for traps.
All right, go for it. Make an investigation check.
That is a 20.
A 20. It is trapped.
How trapped is it?
It's a fairly complex trap, but it's
Mechanical or magical?
mechanical.
Mechanical.
So is the magic not coming? Was it not coming from the box, or what was inside the box?
You gather it's probably what's inside the box.
I mean, we could. Yeah,
Attempt to disarm it.
Can I attempt to disarm it with Mage Hand?
Yeah, that's what Mage Hand can do.
Okay, so back up, everyone.
Okay.
Let's get some distance here.
Cover your eyes, cover your ears.
I mean, you gotta admit, I bet you're probably pretty curious what's in there.
Yasha's still like clutching him there. He's like,
Also, we're gonna get it open though.
I'll keep everybody okay. I'm gonna get a little distance and go out. I'm gonna go outside the room just in case. Mr. Ford, I would recommend you get some distance.
I
as
will
well.
take that advice and join you.
All right.
go ahead and make a thieves' tools check, please, with your dexterity.
28.
As the gentle Mage Hand clutching the thieves' tools begins to kind of almost do this weird, ghostly finger dance across, you see it go. Ting! You hear a spring break. As the Mage Hand shocker is the box. Sure.
Almost got it.
You hear a spring. You hear the spring break on the interior, and it seems the lock has been or the trap has been disabled.
Oh my god! I think it worked.
What do I'll fucking open it.
Open.
Okay, well that was disabled the trap. Now you got to open it.
Now I wanna
Roll to
open it.
unlock it.
Oh, it's still
Now you have to
locked.
unlock
Yeah.
it.
With sleight of hand, or
Yeah.
thieves' tools?
Thieves-
27.
Yeah.
Monster.
There are 3 locks. There's like 1 lock in the front and 2 on each side, and rapidly just pop, they all come open.
Wow. I want to go look.
Okay, you're going to open it up. On the inside, it's a soft kind of like velvet interior of the case, and there you see what looks to be a small, almost like a ceramic pot of some kind, like roughly about that big, that has a lid on it, and it is enclosed. And then above it, you see meshed in there what looks to be like a paintbrush, about a foot long.
A foot-long paintbrush and a
it's
little
like
pot of
little
paint.
pot of paint. It looks like.
Yeah, no, you gotta.
Yeah, we're not going to touch this. We're just going to take this to our friends who know what to do with it.
The guard glances over and goes,
This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit.
What, that you were, you almost.
Yes!
Okay.
You think you were paid to carry this around? Do you think it was a prank? Were you pranked by a friend of yours?
I
or
don't want to
something?
talk about it.
Mr.
It's an expensive
Mr.
prank.
Caleb is gonna maybe want to take a look at that
course he
later.
would,
I would
yes.
recommend hiding it. It's not for the time.
In a complete attempt to capitalize on your disgruntled feelings, would you mind telling us who paid you to guard this or where it came from? This paint brush?
I've already given you too much. Let me go amongst my pride swallowing.
I feel really bad about this. Can we throw him any money or something?
We already
did.
threw him money, which means you're gonna tell us who paid you. Come on, man, don't make us do this the hard way. We're trying to be good. Who paid you?
I don't know.
Come on.
Where did it
What
come
was the
from?
agency that you subcontracted from? I know how this
I do mercenary work out of Port Damali from time to time and other places along the shore.
That's great.
Normally, some of the higher paying jobs are a don't ask type scenario.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I think
Thank
we've
you.
taken up enough of his time. You've been more than flexible with our questioning.
That is very true.
And I think we won't mention to anybody that we threw you a little cash. I mean, obviously that doesn't need to travel and whatever you
That
need to
stays
do
down
to
here.
maintain. I understand dignity is a thing.
As well as the fact that you spit in my face. I'm gonna leave that here. We're gonna cross out these doors. None of it happened.
Actually, if you like, we can walk out of here being very irritated if that didn't, like, and just get like, that guy,
yeah.
too much.
Do you want us to do that? Like, oh, ow, you got me in my kidney.
He's just giving the 1,000-yard stare into a shadowy corner.
I actually do feel that way, so let's just head up.
yeah.
So we'll head up above.
All right. Well, Boulder kind of stops and turns around towards him and pats him on the head. And then follows up behind you guys.
I feel like we should leave these people with most of what we. I think this has been enough. I don't want to cause any more trouble than we have.
I agree. Do you want to make sure everyone's feeling all right before we...
Anybody else need some healing? Anything really quick?
Captain Jules Arog says, "No, would you please leave us? If you have everything you need."
Liam, get back over to your ship. You're going to miss it. Go, go, go.
Jester, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
He runs back across like,
I made a friend.
Can I reach over and come here? And I pull his shirt aside. Did you do this?
He has been marked.
That's rare.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm glad that we can complete this transaction peacefully.
the captain kind of gives a nod. "Thank you for sparing the lives of my men."
I wish you calm waters and safe journey, and we will take it back over to the squall leader.
Okay. You make
As we're like walking over, I whisper to Ford and I say, Avantika's gonna want a paintbrush.
What?
Avantika's gonna want to know about that paintbrush.
Not yet.
All right, as you guys come across, the rest of Avantika's crew pulls over the gangplanks. They pull up anchor, and Avantika, looking over the opposite side, goes, "Do not pull up your anchor until we are beyond your sight. If we see you shift beforehand, we will turn right back around." The other side of the crew nods. Sails unfurl. Wind picks up. Ship begins to move. And you begin continuing to head westward. And at which point, once you're a little bit out of earshot, and Avantika is keeping an eye off the edge of the ship, looks back at the rest of you and kind of... The rest of the crew begins to clap, and there's a bit of applause. And with that, my friends, welcome, truly, to what it means to be free on the sea. I'm proud of you. So, let's see what you found. And they go to start opening the chest. And we'll go ahead and take a break there.
Oh.
Boise. I'm hiding the little pot thing.
Yeah.
Right
But
away.
Boulder Gut was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Boulder Gut saw everything. So
true.
unless we want to bribe Boulder Gut.
We'll get to that when we come back from the break.
Okay. I have a piece of
No, I'm dying.
All right, so we'll be back here in just a moment. In the meantime, we do have our Wormwood giveaway for the evening. So for this, you need to head over to the Critical Role Twitch chat. That's twitch.tv/Critical Role to enter tonight's word. Keyword is reef, R-E-E-F. Enter it once, more than once, you'll be disqualified. Once again, it's only available for people in the U.S. and Canada, excluding Quebec. But tonight we have a fantastic figured Myrtlewood dice vault, which is a new wood offered by Wormwood, which is actually a really cool texture to it. It's got kind of like a weird like a
Shimmery. It looks like almost
glimmer to it.
holographic.
It's quite pretty, and one of you is going to win that when we return. So go ahead and enter in the Twitch chat. We'll see you guys here in a few minutes. And welcome back, everyone. So, the winner of our fantastic figured Myrtlewood dice vault from our friends Myrtlewood. It's really pretty. Ironically, and well named, Captain Cupcake.
Yay!
Congratulations, Captain Cupcake.
That's so cute.
We'll get this into your right rickety space. Alrighty.
Too much. Reeling it in.
So, having now made your way on the Squall Eater off from as far as I know, all of you, your first real bit of piracy.
Oh boy.
Pulling away, the chest that was brought on board is currently being picked and opened by some members of the crew. As it folds open, looking inside, you could see it is a mass of gold, silver, copper, and an occasional glimmer of platinum coins. This was quite a bit of change. At which point the captain looks over to the quartermaster and goes, "Well done. This will be divvied up appropriately. What else was found? We got some." And they begin to point out the food, a little bit of the thawing fruit, tropical fruit that was placed there.
Where's Boulder Gut to me?
Boulder Gut's just sitting there with the rest of you, kind of looking around and listening to the captain and looking off in the distance, maybe like 10 feet from you.
Okay.
I have to go check on the cannons downstairs. I'll be back later.
Wow.
Make a deception check.
Oh.
-3. 10.
I rolled a 12 on insight.
The captain kind of glances past us. Why don't you stay here at least until we finish divvying up all the findings?
Of course, Captain. I am at your beck and call.
So weird.
You're telling me?
Why is she so weird?
All right, so anything else? What transpired below? You have not told me what happened. Apparently there was some sort of a scuffle. Boulder Guy goes,
Yeah, tiny man in armor.
you begin to realize at this point, not a whole lot of timber difference between the male or female ogres that you've encountered in your time. Generally just more hair on the top of the head. Stubble's about the same.
Indeed, there was a man in full plate armor who got quite a few shots in.
Yeah, one less pirate, one less shipper trying to prove himself a hero. Thought he could stand up to a lot of us.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Did you finish him off?
Well, we didn't kill him, but we definitely embarrassed him thoroughly. Something that I find some men find worse than death.
I'm impressed. You are all very, strongly adhering to this, not killing aspect of piracy. I can tell you from experience, it does not last very long. But I respect the intent. Anything else?
I heard there were some very good tropical fruits, super rare, in this crate, based on what I found. Good meal later on.
Did we keep the sword? I don't remember.
We did, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I kept a memento. Now hold up the long sword.
Not bad.
Odds and ends down there.
Boltergut kind of leans in right over your shoulder, Bo, and was like,
And I just slip her like 30 gold.
make a sleight of hand check.
Bribing the crew in front of the captain.
Not.
Paste.
I'm not. I just am trying to. Oh my god, are you serious?
It's a 7. It's a 7.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a 7.
That's still not great.
No.
But
That's a one.
that brings me to an 11.
Is it a 1
That's
or
a
a 7?
1.
Oh, it is a 1.
It is a 1? Nope,
Yep.
it's a 1.
As you reach back, your coins slip from your grasp and all across.
Fucking hole in my pouch. Shit, how did that...
Boltergut goes and starts helping you pick him up.
Oh, thanks,
But like kind of
Boltergut.
fumbling with her giant fingers.
Thank
and
you. Thank you. Good show, everybody. Everybody, great time. Just wanted a round of applause.
Woo!
Captain Tusktooth.
Go, Captain Tusktooth!
Sorry.
Go, Captain Tusktooth.
Quartermaster Tusktooth, formerly captain for us.
Indeed.
Anyway, it's a good day.
Start doing a little more healing on you. Just
Ivanka just gives like a keen look towards Bo, nods.
Captain Ivanka,
Yes, Chester?
would you like a tattoo?
I already have plenty, but thank you. I appreciate the offer.
If you want any more, or if you want any of the ones you have improved, just
13.
let me know.
I'll take it. That's good.
I will keep that under consideration. Anyway, regardless, we're done. Impressive work. Let's continue on to the drag shallow reefs. Come on. So, you
I chase after Nott.
okay? You catch up to Nott? Are you going as well, or is it just you two?
I'm going downstairs.
What are people doing?
That's what I'm asking. What are people doing?
We act
I
casual.
stay up to entertain Avantika.
I sensing my biff. Casually, I turn to Epis. Say if you're like, man, great work down there. How great was that?
You as well. It was very impressive.
So impressive.
You
Right?
beat the shit out of that man.
I fucking right. So like, adrenaline pumping.
I could tell that. It's
And,
very,
yeah,
very
it's
nice.
great.
Well done.
Anyway, good day, man. And I go downstairs.
You too. Goodbye.
I'm gonna head down, obviously tired, and just go follow you guys to take a nap.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything, or are we?
Following Nott.
Okay, so you guys are going down.
Care of.
All right.
I'm trailing
Bring
them.
that fucking wizard down there with you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Caleb. They do that. I try to find Caleb.
Okay. You find Caleb. Caleb, if you haven't left the top of the deck.
No, I've been exactly where I was. Do you want to know more about my cat? Because you walked off before. But the funny thing about a cat is that they are very persnickety, but with the right person, they are not. And Frumpkin with me, we are just so. Just so.
Genuine question. Have you been telling the story the entire time I've been gone?
No, that would be.
Has it
I'm a
been
very
nonstop?
intelligent person. That would be foolish. I don't talk to thin air. And also, some people say that they have 9 lives, which is
That's
funny
great.
because
You know
we-
what? I have something I think that you would be deeply interested in.
Did you
Maybe-
find books?
I didn't. Fucking god damn
I forgot to look too. I did too.
it. I didn't find fucking books.
It's
but
a long shot there, aren't they?
okay, you know, books, cats, I get it.
Keep it straight.
It's so good.
Try it again. Just
Love your fascination of both the most boring things that I can think about, including books and cats. But let's go look at something awesome.
You thought it too, didn't you?
Yeah.
And cats and books and cats.
Cats and books and cats. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Shit. Yeah, you're telling me your love of higher learning, I understand. Did you need something? Because you clearly don't want to hear about cats. So we could end this now.
Just keep your mouth shut for like 30 damn seconds
What'd you find? What'd you find? What'd you find?
and follow me.
What'd you find?
And
What'd
then
you find?
we bring him to them.
What'd you find? What was it? What are you hiding? I want to know.
Where are we? Let's get into our rooms. We're gonna go
All right,
into
you
our
go to your
cabinets.
chambers.
And wait, sup? Hi. Sup? Hi.
Okay.
I'm keeping a close eye
I
on what's
was
going on. This
with
is
her when
very.
she-
They're being so
right.
sketchy.
Yasha kind of pulls in. What is going on in here?
Shut up, come on, shut up. Did
okay.
anyone follow you?
No.
Okay.
The captain can be invisible. She might be in this room with us right now.
Let's all
Everyone,
walk around.
just do this. Just do
walk
this.
around the whole room like. Oh, that's you. That's you. Not okay. We're all hi.
Do we feel it?
Tells the class.
Yeah.
so awesome.
All right.
No.
Here's what I got.
Okay.
It's a magical paper.
Count, do the thing. Do the thing. Figure out.
Identify it.
Should I draw with it? Should I do something with it?
Not yet.
Just it.
Not yet.
I can talk now.
Yes.
Okay.
Just not about cats or books.
What is it? What
Will
is it? What is
still
it?
help you. I need a moment. So I set it down and I start scrolling on the floor around it. And about 10 minutes later, I have
And in the meantime, I'm like, oh my god. So, what happened? You did it like a tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
It was amazing.
Okay, what are you gonna do? Tattoo on me?
The full box? Are you expecting the full box?
No, no, because well, I guess I wasn't there. No, I mean if they put the box down in front of me.
I opened the box.
Yeah, show
This
show
is
them the paintbrush.
the paintbrush and the ink. Paintbrush and the ink.
Is it a big box?
No, I know, but look, see
Box
if it's
about
magic.
shoebox size.
But it's the size of the item contained within. It's not
Correct,
like
yeah, the,
giant or anything.
No,
Caduceus detected magic, and it was glowy.
That's a lucky find.
That's what I'm saying. So I need to figure out what it is.
You shush. No, give me a moment. 10 minutes later, after I transform into an Autobot, I cast Identify through the ritual spellcasting.
That's a novel.
What is it,
Go away. I
Caleb?
need time. It's a long piece of paper. It's lots of knowledge.
Long spell.
So you talk amongst yourselves for 1 minute.
What do you want to tattoo of?
What do you think it is? Oh, a tattoo? If we could pick any tattoo?
Decorum Sagesti.
You mean like what physical attribute would we increase? Or what would you want the tattoo to be a picture of?
Yeah, no, what do you want a tattoo of? Like a picture of?
I've had an idea for
What
just
is
a
it?
little bit. So, this is gonna be stupid.
Probably.
You're not fucking. Not there. This is. Was it the not bear? The not there fairy?
Not there.
Not there.
Life's not fair.
It's cousin to the metagaming pigeon. They're not there. Not there fairy. There you go.
Not there fairy.
And don't forget, you still have that marble silver
Yeah, can
shield
you do
thing.
more than one identify at a time?
You can take time to do it a few times.
But it's endless, but it takes 10 minutes.
Oh, you mean the shield?
The shield, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm gonna.
What?
I had this idea because Molly on the back of his coat, his neck, his tattoo.
Yeah.
He had one
He had a
tattoo and the coat, yeah.
Sorry. On the back of his tattoo, he had an all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I thought it was really cool, and I feel like it could be cool to have it on my back, kind of right below my neck. So.
I think Molly would like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was really sacred to me. It would be really super offended.
Oh
if you
yeah,
put it
maybe
on.
he would like
But it's
stole it from
fine,
him.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's dead. So what's he gonna do?
Wow.
That made me sad.
I was about to say you can roll a d20, and if you roll a 20, I'll tell you what Molly would thought.
We'll do that later.
Yeah.
Any news, Caleb?
What is it?
Sit down.
Okay. I'm
This
ready.
is your lucky day.
Yeah.
And this is very dangerous to give to you, but you're the perfect person to have it. So, of course, here it is yours. This will allow you to paint things, and they become real.
Yes.
What?
Yes. I was so hoping for this.
What do you mean?
Anything?
It's that.
Almost anything. Nothing too fancy.
And now I get old. Chinese phone.
This is some Bugs Bunny
The
shit.
magic paintbrush. It's the magic paintbrush.
Rabbit Warehouse?
Yes.
Yes.
This is
Who framed
literally.
Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit Warehouse?
Oh yeah.
What can you
Singing
paint?
sword and
This will allow her
Black
to paint
hole
a
and-
door and
Black
for there to
holes.
be a door. This will allow her to paint a sword and there will be a sword.
What?
All you can eat, Ford.
Wait.
It does eventually use up the paint over
There's, you
time.
can do 1,000 square feet of surface.
So when
I mean, I learned from you in a moment.
when you
Explain it
walk
all
down
in
an
about a
alley
minute.
and paint dicks, they'll be real dicks. Just dicks everywhere, dicks and dicks.
dicks hanging out of walls.
How did you not think this through? This was inevitably where this was going.
No, in hindsight,
Oh, if someone falls asleep, you can put a dick on their head and they'll have a dick on their head.
This is my favorite thing in the entire universe.
Wild dicks have appeared in Wild Mound
Game
and
over,
through the
ladies and gentlemen.
Dwendalian
Game is
Empire.
I mean,
No one can explain the huge dongs protruding from walls, sculptures, and holy places.
This is the most amazing thing in the entire universe.
Fields of phalli
I won't lose it. I won't.
springing up across.
Caleb!
So just don't create a penis on my head, okay? And we're
Promise I
square.
will not draw a penis on your
Have me
head.
at the clap.
Excellent.
Can it make living things?
Finite amount of ink or what?
No, it cannot do that.
You
Not living things.
inanimate
And it cannot create fabulous jewels, and it cannot create piles of gold.
Dick joke.
But it can get us an escape from somewhere. It
Ooh.
can.
If we wanted to spirit ourselves away from this boat in the middle of the night, she could paint us a boat.
You need a surface to paint it on.
Oh.
Like a
Paper?
big-
There would be a really
but then it
big.
would
You would
be
have
like
a
a
tiny
ship.
boat.
I'm talking about like a raft. She could just paint like a little raft and we could.
And then we'd be a
You
raft
could,
in the
theory,
ocean.
paint
Yeah,
a
yeah,
small
yeah.
boat on the deck of the ship if no one was watching.
That's
That
true.
would
That
be
would
very
take a long
difficult
time,
thing
though.
to do.
This is a real conversation we actually need to have with the entire group present.
Let's.
Speaking of,
We're
just while
right
We're
except for Ford.
Oh,
we're heading to port regardless. I figure at some point.
Yeah, I feel like before port. We need a plan before port. Before port.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the most amazing thing in the entire universe.
I figure things don't change regardless as long as we're on the
Oh
ocean.
my god.
Before.
You only had to actually be pirates and fucking roll a ship to get it. So live with that.
I'm okay. I can live with that.
How much does it say? How much paint it comes with?
It comes with enough to cover 1,000 square feet of surface.
Okay.
So,
But you
like,
don't
if I
wanna
made a
waste
ship,
that.
then I would,
Yeah.
like, it would use a lot
No,
of.
that would.
building a
We could
ship.
just
But
steal
the
the
ship.
ship.
Lots of things that are little. Oh my god. Just
one
think about how
pretty
many
nice
dicks that
size
is.
apartment.
Like if it's like a 5-inch thick, that's like 2,000 dicks.
What if you painted a 500-pound diamond?
No, you can't do
Cannot
that
do
part.
that. It
Okay.
It would create a facsimile of that, but it would be worthless.
Got it.
The things it makes are not.
quick, Caleb, identify this in 10 minutes. And I give you the shield to identify.
What? Yep. This is a fair mica. Yeah, ball. It's color.
I have good news. Favorite chewing gum.
Bored.
Oh no.
David.
That's all I heard.
What can your imagination make?
Like endless.
Keys, ladders,
Poured into my room.
outfits,
Outfits.
clothes,
If you
Yeah.
want, they're non-magical items. You
Yeah?
Catwoman outfits.
Oh my god.
Technically.
Yeah, this is good. This can blast an enemy with a bit of arcane oomph.
A shield that can fight?
A little bit, yeah.
That's so cool. Who can use a shield? Do we have any shields?
Could do.
I have a
this,
shield.
and- You have a shield?
Could do.
I think
I have a shield.
Yeah.
Do you need a shield?
My AC is
Did we
17.
bring him down here yet?
No.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Go to hell.
Oh, I was gonna say I go get Ford
Take a look at that thing, maybe.
casually, but like I don't want to interrupt like a cocktail party.
Okay.
I don't want to be I do the when you're ready, just
Okay.
where we are.
it might be good if it's up close and personal with Ford. Or it could be good for us.
Why don't you protect the clerics?
Well,
Oh,
What's your AC again?
17.
I feel like
Yeah, so why don't you guys have it?
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like my shield though, but this is interesting.
Can I use a shield? No.
No.
I don't think
No.
fish.
I don't think so.
I think technically anyone can
What's your
use
AC?
a shield.
Technically, anyone can use a shield, but if you're not
But
proficient,
if you're not
This would
proficient
you
in
get
push
a
it.
bunch of bad
There's
things.
bad
All right.
No thanks.
Because we just covered this in our Handbooker Helper episode.
Oh, light armor.
Uh-huh.
All right. Take this.
Correct. No shields.
Consider it a gift after nearly dying
That's fair.
in the past. Well, now 8 days, but
I may just for my own personal aesthetic try and mount my beetle wings onto this, but I like it. We'll do that later.
All right.
All right, let me.
So.
What do we do
I'll
now?
have to add it to there myself.
Oh, you'll have to add it.
It's a custom item, so.
Oh,
Gosh,
well.
to get you.
I told him, like, when you're ready, this is
Meantime,
where
it's
we
just
are.
as a +1 to my AC.
Yeah.
How many attuned items can I have at this level?
For any level, it's 3.
3, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, we need Captain Tusktooth down here because that was an interesting afternoon, but it is not what I want to do with the rest of my life.
I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I'll find my way back down to the rest.
Okay, there you go.
What'd we get?
Nothing.
Shit.
Just some paint.
Weird that they would have an armored guy with a longsword protecting a paintbrush that does nothing.
How do you feel about floating dicks?
Not opposed.
All right.
It's a floating dick making paint.
Really?
Better than
Like,
sinking dicks,
I mean,
suppose.
should I try it just to see?
Don't waste any paint, but yes.
Is it
I'm
in
going
my
to
system, or do I
do.
have to find
I'm
it?
going to paint on the floor like the teeniest of dicks, like this big.
Okay. You take a little bit, you do this little dick, and suddenly.
Flaccid penis or an erect penis?
An erect penis.
Of course.
That's the go-to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
better.
you paint it and finish it, and you look at it and kind of take the edge of the paintbrush and kind of nudge it, and it rolls a bit. It's, I mean, it's like a stone sculpture. You know, it's not fleshy. It's not made of flesh.
You didn't Frankenstein
Yeah.
a veiny triumphant bastard
Yeah,
into life.
you're not turning this into Second Life. It's just all the different fucking floppy dicks flying everywhere. This is.
It's not the dick brush.
Wait, so wait, I have a question then. If I make like a tree, if I draw a tree, would the tree be made of stone or would it be made out of? Like, would it look like a tree?
You can have to find out and try.
This may actually give you, what is your shield, what's your AC bonus to your current shield? This doesn't give me an 18, this just keeps me at 17, because I was already at a +2 with my shield.
Oh.
Well, no, it's +2 and then +1 on top of that.
Oh, okay, so right now it's only giving me a +2.
I'll double check the item.
Or maybe I haven't. Oh, never mind, now it's working. There we go.
Keep it.
I hadn't attuned it.
Ah, there you go.
I pick up the little stone penis. Who wants it?
So we found a paintbrush that you can paint things and they will come into being? Is that what it is?
That's
Right.
Wow. And the shield.
It's a little gaudy for my taste, but I'm going to do a little work to it.
Will hurt your enemies, not just protect you.
Can I just ask how everybody, humor me, feels after today?
I would
Wow.
prefer not to make a habit of that.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, it feels like a bucket list item checked off the list, but there were several times that might have questioned everything that we were doing.
Right.
But
Bucket list is in hijack a ship before you die kind of a thing?
I mean, we just had like the full pirate experience
We did.
that a travel agency could not provide. So it was very authentic, and that was amazing.
Follow sometimes, you know that.
Huh?
Nothing, just.
Not, I'd ask if you had any reservations, but you seemed very enthusiastic about today's.
I was born to be a cannoneer.
I can't promise there'll be a lot of that, but at least I know that you're DTF. Cool. Caleb.
Down to fire.
Yep. Thyra. Caleb. How you doing?
I mean, this is a matter of survival. If we do not cooperate, she's going to kill us. I'm not opposed, per se, to what went down today, but it's not what I want to do with my life. I would prefer to break away from this woman, but we're here for you right now. You are trying to figure out, your thing. I think I'd like to hear from you what the plan is, the long-term plan is. Are we on the ship in the sea? Is that what you're after, or...?
Yeah, actually, I do have some news to share. Avantika apparently has come across my old mentor, Vandrin, before. She knew him. And apparently he carried the same sword that I have. It's called the Sword of Fathoms. Has a name. She's of the opinion that he always carried on him the sword and another one of those spheres, an eye. She asked me if I knew where the ship that I was on went down, and I did recall the area, and she believes that if we were to search that shipwreck, we might find this third sphere. She has the ability to mess with water now. And in some of the dreams I've been having, I believe that there's quite a bit more where that has come from.
Still having those dreams then.
Not all the time. And I admit, I've been very excited about all of this, but the things I see are world-changing, scary.
In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know.
Or is it dependent on the operator?
I don't know that either.
What is the good scenario, the good version of releasing a massive serpent onto the menagerie coast?
Well, when you say it like that, right. I don't know. I meant only the power that might come before that happens.
Does the serpent get released if the little orbs are spread out amongst other people, or do they all have to be in one person?
Well, I
Or 3.
I actually don't know. I'm just assuming that because she placed her sphere at the bottom of that well in that temple, there are 2 other temples which we have to do the same thing, and that might lead to the release of that serpent. So,
But you think that this other, or one of the other spheres is at the bottom of a shipwreck, not necessarily a temple.
right, the 3rd sphere, and I have the 2nd.
But
Doesn't she have 2 spheres?
No, she had one, but she got rid of it. Ford has one.
and he traded
So
it
it
for
would be
power.
good for us to get that last one, so she can't.
Can't.
What if she does get the last one?
Then we will have failed.
Well, at least she would be twice as powerful as
It would
Ford
be a
is
lot.
one.
It'd be a lot for one person.
I mean, there's
And
also
also,
the
she would want the 3rd.
which is
Which
inside of you.
means she would want Ford's body.
Correct. Can I just take a second and ask Caduceus to check the door?
I've been paying very close attention and listening into the hallway and just trying to keep very.
Perception check.
15.
Okay. Seems to be fairly clear.
I haven't heard any footsteps or.
No.
Look at the portal window. Is there a portal window?
There, in the room you're in currently, there is not a port window.
Without saying too much more, I think it's best that we all listen to Caleb's words and play along. We'll be making our way to Darktow,
Yeah.
and then we will reevaluate.
But the overall mission is to get. Don't say anything?
Just feel like, and I'll try and as Soto as possible, that only the people in the room would hear. There are people that we can't see. I just don't feel like this is the best place to converse.
We've been feeling around the air, and
Yeah, it's not our ship.
I feel like, for the time being, it just might be best to be the best that we can be here and be as helpful as humanly possible. Our goals are relatively aligned, and as long as we don't have to hurt anybody, I'm all right with the rest of these people.
Do we need more information
Always.
to find your ship?
I think I would know the location based off the trade route where we
You know the general vicinity of where it would have happened.
Ooh.
It would take a little bit of searching and a little bit of you know.
Especially if it's on the bottom of the fucking.
Yeah. Well, depending on what you have at your disposal, that could definitely narrow that search. But if it's just based on your memory, it would take a while to find it. But you know the general area of where it went down.
Soto, I was debating heavily and watching Avantika to see if, with the distraction of trying to board the other pirate ship today, that I could maybe sneak into her office with the distraction. But I noticed she was very adamant, holding back and watching the entire scenery. It was not safe to go into her quarters. But if we need to get into her office, I think it's gonna have to be an important enough and big enough distraction.
Maybe Ford, you can like go seduce her or something. And then, you know, with the seduction, then you can sneak into her office.
Some people give up information when they've been seduced as well. Is that something you could do?
All good ideas.
It just seems like she's into you, you know?
I've noticed that as well.
Trying to use that to our advantage.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I'm trying to keep her close.
Yeah.
If she starts to suspect us, we'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone feels uncomfortable with how things are going, please let me know. My curiosity is not worth dying for or doing something that you feel you'll regret. I value what everyone thinks here.
I think if we don't do anything, it means your eventual demise.
Well, that's just fucking dark.
Yeah,
No, I
but
think she's right.
Yeah. I think you're fucked.
unless we beat Avantika to the punch in
If you
every
don't
sense.
fuck, you're going to get fucked.
Now, Jester, where would you learn a phrase like that?
I live.
She lived in a brothel.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do to get all the information out of her that you can. If we see you cozying up with her, we'll know. We'll know that it's just an act.
Cool. Yeah. No, Caleb said something similar last night or last couple days ago. All right. We'll enjoy the paintbrush.
Oh, is that it? Is that our meeting? Okay, yeah.
I mean, we're gonna find our way to
Does it make you
Darktow.
feel comfortable? Do you want someone else to seduce her?
Yeah, because I volunteer.
I think she's made her interests pretty clear.
If you really want to find the ship, I think I might be able to help.
With the seducing? What?
No. I mean, no. Definitely not.
I mean, Caduceus, if you want to teach me a thing or two about wooing a woman.
Yeah, no, I really don't think I have anything to add to that. I think you've been doing just fine.
Yes to what you said, and yes to what you said.
I think I might be able to help you find the ship.
That's what
And
I
you
meant.
want me to help seduce Avantika?
You just do you, girl.
All right.
All right.
I don't understand what any of this is anymore.
Yeah, I think that'll be very valuable when the time comes.
I thought. Help by finding the ship, that's all.
What about what time of the day is it?
At this point, it's later afternoon.
Oh, it's early.
Time to break out the banana margaritas. It's only the afternoon.
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like
All right.
it's like 5 or so. You're an hour or 2 from dusk.
Okay.
Let's just do our jobs.
Yep.
I've got a
Do our
cannon to
jobs.
fix.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'm gonna make some barrels.
Caleb,
barrels.
could I speak to you for a moment? Above? Yeah.
Of course.
I'll go up.
All right.
I will follow.
The rest of you go about your business.
I will follow.
I'm gonna take a nap.
All right.
Taking a short rest.
Yeah, should
I'm gonna
distance.
stand at a distance looking over the rail.
Okay.
How far away are you?
Shrug. How far away is she? We're in broad daylight.
I'm like, far away.
6-7 feet.
Just looking out, drawing. I'm very distracted.
Dicks dropping into the ocean.
Perfect.
How far away are you, Justin?
I think 15 feet.
15 feet.
far.
Seeing where Jester is, I'll pull Caleb's head. May I ask you a frank question?
Of course you can. I scan around for Avantika.
Make a perception check.
Okay. There's 22.
Looking about across the deck, you do not see her currently near or visible.
I have to admit, I found myself a bit surprised. My initial impression of you was someone a bit timid and maybe reserved, meek even. But your tone, your opinion of what to do with Avantika in order to make sure that we're okay, it seemed very calculated, very risky. Do you mind me asking if have you ever sacrificed anything in order to achieve a greater goal? Because I feel like I am swimming in the deep end. I don't quite know what I'm doing.
You're dealing with very large responsibilities right now. I don't envy your position. My father was a soldier, and he expected a lot, and I learned a lot from him. I have tried to live up to the man that he was, and I have largely failed, but I picked up what I could. To use my wits, understand my surroundings. I wish I had half the courage he did. I don't know, I think traveling with all of you has emboldened me some. I was alone for a long time. And ran from everything. And I like this group. And I enjoy traveling with you, Ford.
Likewise. You don't miss much, do you?
I've always been like that. I have a very good memory. I remember everything.
But you have a very shrewd sensibility as well. You seem to be able to weigh pros and cons in an equation, a scenario.
Math brain. I feel like a fool much of the time. I'm glad you think so highly of me.
I do. I don't mean any of it as a critique, more as a compliment, and I'll add with it a request. Keep that eye of yours on Avantika for me. I don't entirely know what her intentions are, but I feel like there are only a few that I could ask to exercise quick judgment in a moment of need.
I start just sort of nervously twiddling a wire in my hand. Just absent-mindedly.
I think you know what I mean, but in case this thing gets out of hand,
yeah,
can I count on you to right the ship if need be?
Keep the group safe.
Of course.
As always, I will do my best.
Thank you, and thank you for talking with me?
I cough very hard into my hands and cast message to him. And briefly, quietly say, I think that that woman is going to try to kill you. I really do.
Yeah. Just so. And I'll turn and walk off.
You need some water, Caleb?
Yeah, do you have some?
I create water in my hands.
Wait, you can do that?
I receive it.
There you go.
There's not much left. Most of it's spilled.
I'll keep creating it in your hands as you drink.
You can create water?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I've always been able to do it.
What do you mean?
Shut up.
Is this like a custom?
Yes. Just keep drinking. Keep going.
Good.
All right. So, a few more days of travel to Darktow. A couple of moments here. In one night that you are in your room, sketching in your book, kind of testing out some of your new paints, you feel a hand on your shoulder. You glance over and you can see the pale, soft fingers and a dark greenish sleeve kind of resting there. You glance over to the side and you can see the draping hood and the slight curved smile across the angular chin of the traveler protruding from beneath the cloak.
Hi.
Hello. I see you found a new toy.
I have magical paint.
Well, I am quite excited at the things you're capable of, Jester. How are things?
They're pretty good. Did you want me to make you something with the paint?
Surprise me.
Okay. Traveler?
Yes, my dear.
Are you having fun on our trip?
Yes. I've been pleasantly surprised.
We're pirates.
I know. Your tenacity is impressive.
But we stole things, but they gave something back just like you always teach, you know?
Maintain that balance.
Yes.
That seed of chaos.
Traveler, how do I make a boy like me?
Well, there are many different enchantments that could achieve the goals you seek.
I don't know if I want to do it with an enchantment.
Trickery?
Maybe?
Listen. Listen to what piques his interest. And then happen to be the source when he needs it. And if that fails, there are plenty of enchantments that can sway his
I mean,
mind.
right? You'll help me out with that.
I'll do my best.
You're not jealous, are you?
No,
You'll always be my number one love.
I know. So what are you making me?
Oh, I want it to be a surprise for you. I can't tell you.
I'll wait.
Okay. I'm glad you're here.
I'm never far.
It's a surprise.
What do you make from?
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, with my magical paint. Oh gosh. Well, I was planning on fucking up some other things. But right now, I will make a little shrine, like a little statue of the traveler. And that way I can pray to him.
As you finish painting it, it kind of suddenly it takes gravity. It almost seems to fall a centimeter and center itself. It goes from this like two-dimensional shift to like you have to it's almost like blinking.
Shimmery. I want him like shimmery green.
Sitting up from the edge of the bed, the cloaked figure walks over and lifts it and inspects it and places it back down.
What do you think?
You're getting better.
I could leave these around other places? What do you think?
Preferably where it will be the least expected.
Okay.
And the creepiest to find.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm excited.
I've got to get to work.
Yes?
I can make so many of these.
Make me proud, Jester.
I will.
The time's coming soon when you'll meet the rest of your brethren.
Right. I wrote it down. It's soon, right?
What does that mean?
The rest of your brethren.
Yeah, in like less than a year.
What? What?
Soon, Maddie.
Like an advent calendar. I'm so confused.
As you look up from your notes, from like closing your book, you turn to look and Traveler's gone.
I wrote this down.
That's the first we've heard that,
Does
right?
that mean what? Less than a year?
Yeah. I wrote down the date somewhere. I know it.
I've heard that before, right? No?
You guys don't know anything.
Yeah. Private conversation.
Yeah.
Ford,
Yeah.
maybe 2 days out from the reefs, you go to bed that night. And as sleep takes you, you find yourself kicking through the thick, sludge-like waters that surround you, sluggish in your movements, the darkness all-encompassing, yourself alone in these shadowed depths. A faint green light is visible in the distance. You push and swim towards it, the light growing brighter, closer. As that grows closer, a second light, even further, impossibly distant. But you can acknowledge it, rests on the horizon. As that first light gets brighter, you can see the source taking shape. It's a figure, female, nude, also swimming. Avantika, emanating this strange green glow, swimming ahead of you, her body wreathed in this faint greenish yellow aura. She looks and points to you, and the waters around you seem to glow with the same colored light. You look down at your body and you see that you are now the third glowing source of this green energy. And suddenly the waters are easy to traverse. What was once sluggish and difficult to ford is second nature. A voice comes through. Watching. The distant light you see suddenly dives with incredible speed, nearly out of sight. Avantika dives down after it, rocketing down below you, breakneck in her speed. You dart after her to give chase, moving far quicker than you anticipated. You realize the water is becoming thinner and thinner, like air. You're falling. 3 shooting stars plummeting through a dark sky. Learn. Glancing down below this endless void you plummet towards, you make out the details of what seems to be a surface rushing towards you. You plummet towards an ocean. The faint, distant endless glittering of moving, shifting waves of some sourceless moonlight just barely giving the shapes below, with 3 large masses beneath you, like a misshapen triangle of land masses of incongruent sizes. 1, 2, 3. You rocket downward towards the space between the 3, the center of this triangle, hitting the waters of the ocean with tremendous force, impact but no pain. You sink, the light of the other 2 figures glittering through the lightless waters. Down, down you sink, until you see a structure come into view from below. A tilted tower wrapped in sea vines, the hollow center providing a wide tunnel further within. You peer inside this empty tunnel of the tower's depths and watch as a sudden bright yellow light shines from within, a gleaming yellow eye. Reward. As the 2 other lights seem to try and drift towards you, behind you, you fall into darkness and the dream ends.
I wake up and immediately grab the map.
Yes, queen, yes.
The wettest dream.
Fucking triangulation shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we were over here, right? In the reefs? Ukotoa.
Well, Urukazel, and we've been heading
Urukazel.
towards Darktow. So we've been
So,
coming across. Did we
like-
pass the wall? We're coming this direction. Did we pass?
You did. You passed south of it, and you actually your piracy sun hit right at this trade route there.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a triangulation.
Why would there be one there?
Well, this is where we're going. Technically, this is the
That's where we're
shipwreck.
going. Yeah.
This was right. This is where we were.
It's where we were.
That's where you were. The 3 masses were not even in shape and size, and they were clustered.
There's another reef here,
There is.
and then there's Terrid Reef here.
There is. And the dead center is a lot of space. You could say that this is the center, but. Okay.
Are
Okay.
any of those places close to your shipwreck that you know of?
Well, the shipwreck is here.
What is this triangle of? Where the 3 objects are, or where the 3 temples
Well,
are?
in the vision, the 3 land masses are in a,
Do you know which direction the ship was heading?
at the time.
At the time, from what you recall, the ship was heading outward.
Yeah, so I'd be heading west.
Maybe he knew where to go, and he was heading there to get his gift. Said Bo in a morning breakfast conversation or something.
Yeah. Anyway, you can contemplate this.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have a feeling that'll be happening.
But in the next few days that pass, eventually, the fog rolls in, and the blue, cloudy skies you had become familiar with in this journey give way to gray, rainy, and cold, this marine front rolling in as you begin to come upon the outskirts of the dragged shallow reefs.
Matt, before you go on, can I
Yes.
just real quickly steal a bunch of gunpowder? While I was learning how to be a powder monkey.
Did have days.
Okay. You do know that the current Master Gunner is keeping a very close eye on you after you've exhibited.
Like a pinch here.
Shawshank style.
Yeah, like little pinches at a time. I don't want tons. I'm not trying to steal a barrel. Just enough to make one of those bangy arrows again. Just like enough for the tip of an arrow.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. That's a natural one.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Six tonight.
You steal, over time, a pretty decent amount of this powder. You're pretty damn proud of it, yeah. So right down in your inventory, you have a handful of pepper.
Yeah.
Black pepper.
I'm gonna be trying to construct a explosive arrowhead at some point.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll
Successfully
for that.
secured D's nuts.
What am I doing?
If you're building, this would be Tinker Tools. Yeah.
Make a sneeze arrow in theory.
So what is it, Dex?
With this one, this would be Dex, since you've already made one. 15. Yeah, you managed to construct a pepper arrow.
If someone's
A
allergic,
pepper bolt, if you will. A
they're
bolt.
fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, pepper bolt. There you go.
When life gives you pepper, make pepper arrows.
There you go.
All right. So, your ship skirts around the southern edge of the reefs. You can now see the tangled graveyard of destroyed ships and gathered driftwood marking the shallow spots across this jagged cluster of reef. Curving around a southwestern passage, a channel that opens. The channel beckons you entry as you turn to head northward to what would be the center, the heart of this cluster. No more than maybe 20 minutes into entering the channel, Avantika shouts out to the rest of the crew, "Raise the colors!" At which point, the massive ogre boulder gut tosses the gnomish second mate Apis high up to the central mast, to the crow's nest, where he swaps out the flag to a new one that is straight purple. As it begins to push its way in, make a perception check.
All of us?
Is the flag just solid purple?
Make a perception check.
We've seen this before.
Natural 20.
This is a different flag than the one that was raised during piracy.
Okay.
Natural one?
Natural 24.
Okay.
14.
14. So what's the
19.
total? Nice.
14.
20, not natural, but
10 for Ford and 19 for Yasha.
Natural 20 with a total of 24.
Okay. So you, Jester, it's a couple things. You pick up on the detail of the flag. It is straight purple, but there's something different about it. You're not entirely certain. It looks like a straight color, but there's like, sometimes the way some of the light hits it, you can see like a sheen in parts of it. It's the best I can describe. But the rest of you also look around and you can see amongst these reefs, not only are there the jagged bits of it that come forward and bits of rock that kind of jut out the ocean amongst the rest of the rubble around it. And it looks like a lot of it has been placed both as kind of a communal barricade on top of the reef and as a challenge to anything that wishes to come in. But you can see in areas where the rock itself is a little more sturdy and above the surface. There are watchtowers and there are bolt throwers and catapults.
Oh, really?
And there are defenses all across elements of this reef that you imagine are one of the many reasons it's not been taken back by the Clovis Concord in the what you would know to be the 40-plus years that Darktow has belonged to what is known as the Revelry.
The Revelry?
The Revelry is the communal band of pirates that work together to maintain some internal order. Make a history check, Ford, and anybody else is proficient with history.
17.
Okay.
The Revel?
25.
Okay.
11.
All right. Ford and Caleb, you know that this began as a dispute with the heads of the guilds in the Clovis Concord. They own and run a majority of the trade routes that come in and out. But a lot of the smaller shipping businesses and various other side industry leaders were being overtaxed repeatedly in an attempt to close them out of the business and essentially completely own all means of shipping in the vicinity. This pissed off a lot of people, and eventually, in moments of combined desperation and frustration, they banded together. And where Darktow was previously a very, very important repair and stopping station this far out on the Menagerie Coast for long-distance shipping, they ransacked it and took it over. They killed those that defended themselves, and any of those who did not want to raise arms would be absorbed and be allowed to become a member of what was now called the Revelry. And as such, they have since held this location and continued to be the source of piracy, both for their own wealth and continuation of well-being, but also as a continuous source of aggression and destruction of the otherwise very prosperous trade that the Clovis Concord runs. You do know also that the Revelry is run by what's called the Plank King. The Plank King.
Sounds inviting.
The previous one was killed 15 years ago by the current Plank King, who challenged him. Plank King is known as Wyatt Marinos, and all you've heard is he is a giant of a man. As you move deeper through this channel, the day goes on, begins to get somewhat dark as you begin to see the glittering lights of what seems to be the southern edge of Darktow Isle. The cold kind of pulls through and a light rain begins to fall as you approach this island. Unlike the jungle islands that you've come across in a vast majority of the Swavane Islands here off the Menagerie Coast, is mostly rock and cliff. In fact, from what you can see, most of this island from this perspective is jagged cliff face, and probably a few hundred feet up is where the island's even surface even begins. At the base around this cliff face, you can see a scattered web of a shipyard, just tangled docks that just maneuver around, containing dozens and dozens of ships. And across that, you see numerous torches that mark various intersections where they all meet. And built into the base of this cliff face, you see a number of buildings and windows, all slowly being lit as the night grows darker and darker. This kind of mass of almost natural-looking hive-like pirate city there stands before you. Welcome to Darktow.
Darktow.
Beautiful.
As the ship makes its way to the docks and eventually comes to a stop, you can see a few figures up there at the edge. One of them that rings a bell as it comes in, and a couple of that come out to meet Avantika. Steps out, and you can see there's a couple of hands raised and go, "Hail, Avantika!" She goes, "We have returned. I know it has been quite a while, but success and celebration, I believe, are on our lips tonight." And a few of the men kind of come up and look over the crew and look over a few of you and take some notes, and then dart off.
Guess we're part of the island now.
Are we off the ships yet?
The ship now has docked. They're beginning to take remains of the supplies. The Mistake, you can see, is pulled off into the other side, and Orly and your other hired crew are looking very wide-eyed and confused about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
So you literally hired a bunch of guys out of
They didn't sign up for that shit.
Nicodranas that have now been brought into a
Month-long journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
as you begin to step off the ship,
Kill those guys.
Jamedi steps off with the rest of you.
Oh no.
Looks to Avantika, and goes up to her and goes,
You still owe me 50 more gold. I counted what you gave me.
She goes, oh, my apologies. I thought I had correctly counted that. She pulls a few coins out of her purse and hands it to him. Counts it himself.
Our business is concluded. Looks at the rest of you. Be careful around this one. Be safe.
He turns and walks into the city.
I liked him.
Dead man walking.
Complicated feelings.
I'm gonna get on my hands and knees and kiss the ground.
It is salty with sea splash and cold to the touch because of the nature of the stone.
I love it.
Oh, for sure, Caduceus was gonna give Jamedi a little.
He got away kind of quick. Yeah, that was not a good
No one
time.
talked to him over the journey.
Nope.
I thought he was on the other ship. I guess we were switching back and forth between ships.
There was a lot of back and forth over the journey. Avantika turns to the rest. Crew, it has been a good journey. You have all been very kind. You have been resolute, and Ukutoa would be proud. So tonight we drink. Come, let us be off to the bloated cup. The rounds are on me.
Bloated cup.
The bloated cup.
Marius comes around the edge of,
Marius.
Oh my god!
of the dogs.
Marius! Hi.
Yes. Remember Marius?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, okay, don't mean to make this really, where the fuck are we?
We're at the end of the world, my friend.
Okay.
You're a pirate. Ta-da!
Yeah, it's gonna be time for you to toughen up a bit. Do you have a pirate face?
That's really good. That's good. That's
Is that a
good.
pooping face or?
Both, really.
Okay, well, until you find a better one, that'll do. What's your pirate name?
Who should it be?
Marius the Mariner. Lapois.
Got
the
it. There's more.
Le Pain.
The part, the pain.
Lapois. Le Pain. I don't know.
That was really good. Do me.
Oh, Caduceus. The juices.
That's actually pretty good.
Orly's big turtle hand clasps in the back on your left shoulder. Bo and goes,
Oh, yeah, I kind of like that one.
How do you mean?
Well, I like juice.
Okay. Yay. Yeah.
We have so much in common.
The
This is great.
swirly.
That's good.
Teach me how to do tattoos that are fancy.
Well, what?
Make me your apprentice. Make me or bequeath me.
I'm gonna get a drink.
I guess we'll follow.
the rest of the crew kind of looking confused amongst themselves, kind of stick together and they come over. One of them, who would have, his name would have been. Oh, this is. I should know at this point. This is Gallon. Gallon, who is kind of, who has recovered and is kind of, yes, who's kind of become loosely the, because he's the only one who was originally on the mist and knows it well. He's become kind of the den mother of the other hired crew that you've brought into this wily adventure. So he comes up and goes, so, all these ones,
Yeah.
what's the plan?
Did we say there was a plan?
Do we live with plans?
I'm not sure. Did we have a plan?
We have a vague
We
idea.
hired them for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, we should probably let them go home
I don't
eventually.
even really remember who they are.
I mean, to be fair, we should let us go home eventually.
Yeah, maybe they should stay on the boat.
After it's repaired.
Yeah. And then we will take them home eventually.
Well,
We need to pay them more?
no. I think we've brought them to a port of great business. If they choose to stay here, they certainly can. Otherwise, they'll have to wait until we're leaving again.
I'll ask around.
We're
I mean, he doesn't seem bothered by it. He's been here before. Gallon,
Yeah.
Gallon, left this port on the mist But he seems generally, he's kind of, over the travel, has gotten a little bit of concern, and he seems somewhat invested in the new crew you've hired. He goes and relays that message to the rest of them.
Scared.
Whoops.
In the meantime, the rest of the crew seems to have followed suit with Avantika, leaving a few crewmen that are just part of the docks to keep watch.
How guarded or patrolled or monitored are the docks?
Pretty damn well patrolled and monitored. Like, this is the bread and butter of their business.
In this area, are there uniformed patrols, or do you just see
people
armed?
Muscle is.
You get the
obvious
sense
everywhere.
here, and from based on your history checks, everyone who resides in Darktow is a member of the Revelry.
Is packing.
By the way, you guys are members of the Revelry.
So by touching down on the island, you become a member.
Well, by becoming part of Avantika's crew.
I need to find some Revelry
Coming into port
iconography.
and having a few individuals mark your presence, you imagine that's probably the case. And when you, well, what are you guys doing?
We're gonna follow.
Going following the people who've been here before.
Let's make sure that the crew knows that they should be repairing the ship and that we need to be ship shape at some point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know if that was the easiest membership I've ever obtained or the most difficult membership I've ever obtained. It's kind of hard to say.
Following up on Ford's question or Travis's question, the muscle that we see around us, does it look like it's, are we in Deadwood, or is there like a strong police force of sorts that is making sure that shit is not going down
Something you
constantly?
could, that they would identify.
Yeah, is anyone in charge, or is it just a saloon with cowboys everywhere?
It's more the former than the latter. I mean, from the first part, it's there is no uniformed guard. There is no, you know.
They're not wearing a hat or a
This
sash.
is Golden Age of Piracy Barbados, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
We're in the thick of it.
Yeah, the heavy realm of piracy has only existed for about 40 plus years.
Oh, wow.
And this coast. And it's still kind of, in some ways, finding its footing.
Oh, Lord. We all gonna die. We'll tell the crew they can have the evening.
Deadwood is civilized.
You can have the
compared to
evening. We've just been at sea this whole time, but in the morning we expect work to continue on the mistake.
Okay.
Probably the only rule here is talk shit, get hit.
So, winding through the docks, following the rest of Avantika's crew. The docks and bridges. It's this labyrinth to find your way. You know, beyond that to the stone and rock where you had kissed earlier. The city itself is a series of switchback paths and carved caverns and cave entrances that have since been outfitted with pieces of wood with windows, and now at this point it's pretty much pitch black in the sky. What little bit of light there is from the nearby torch and lantern light gives just a hint of the mist that's kind of rolled in across the outskirts of the island. And the only light sources you have are those that you keep on you, or the distant glowing smattering of hundreds of firelit windows lit from the inside, the warm buildings that make up the city. As you make your way to what you assume to be the tavern, the bloated cup, if you will, Avantika's currently standing outside talking to somebody. And there you see this kind of burly, kind of rough-looking human man, probably a week and a half unshaven, this thick kind of 5 o'clock shadow, kind of grayish curled hair that goes right about shoulder length. It's kind of slicked back, probably with his fingers to one side, but it's oily enough where it stays in place. Looks like he's wearing an officious coat, and they're currently in the middle of a discussion. And she looks over her shoulder to the rest of you and goes, my apologies. There is one bit of business we must attend to before we can celebrate. The rest of you continue on. My new compatriots, it seems, and the human figure pipes up and goes, word has reached the ears of the Plank King that you've brought new blood here to Darktow. I imagine these are the new blood based on, he looks at a sheet of paper that's handed to him and kind of looks at the description that was written, and he would appreciate you bringing them to the throne roost and
have an audience.
Who are you?
Well, I'm the assistant to the Plank King,
And what is your name?
James Tybalt.
James Tybalt.
All about this right now.
Getting deep.
Assistant to the Plank King. And do we need to bring any presents or anything to the Plank King when we meet him?
I'm certain he wouldn't argue.
As he smiles now, this is the first time you see his grin, and there's just maybe 6 or 7 teeth.
Ooh.
Most of them are blackening.
I recommend you all follow me.
Yes, sir.
You too, Avantika. He wants to check in.
She kind of sighs, but gives a smile. Ipis, bring like 500. And he kind of starts counting out gold from one of the chests they had brought with them.
Yeah, we never divvied up that box.
No.
No, we didn't.
It's for her to do.
Oh.
It's for him to do.
Is that for me
You're
to
the
do?
quartermaster.
You're the quartermaster. He said divvy up treasure.
That's what the quartermasters do.
Balls.
Yeah, it's intentional, guys. We're fine.
It's all good. Coin is passed over to a smaller chest, and Avantika kind of carries it up under her arm. So, you guys are led to the western side of the city, and then begin climbing up this precarious set of winding stairs carved out of the rocky cliff.
Wow. Cool.
Above the city, slick with mist and recent rain. It looks like the way the wind's hitting, the rain isn't hitting the cliffside, but you can see it passing maybe 15, 20 feet in front of you.
This is precarious, you guys.
Partway up this climb, the occasional torch is now replaced with a wooden pike holding a skull or a head at varying stages of decay.
I'm gonna put my metal scary mask on.
Okay, you put your metal scary mask on.
You feeling at home there, Deucey?
This is nice.
You're led up further, maybe 250, 300 feet up this cliff face. Kind of leading you with some of the bursts of wind to lean against it to pull across. The stone stairs themselves vary from 2 feet wide to maybe a foot at times. And looking down over the edge, you can imagine a few folks you're sure have found their end with an odd misstep. The stairs finally stop at a wide stone shelf that overlooks the town, about 200 or 300 feet above, the furthermost edge ending just above the rocky waters of the inlet. A cave mouth greets you against the cliff, warm with firelight. 2 watchmen notice you. And they stand there, keeping an eye, as a cloaked man pushes past you to descend from where you came. Yep, just kind of pushes past you. Avantika kind of nods to the guards and shows the chest.
The guy that pushes past, what does he look like? What's he wearing?
He's a little ways past you now. Make a perception check.
Okay, just let these guys go by.
He's just a dude.
9.
9!
It's too dark and there's too much rain. It's hard to make out any details, unfortunately. Avantika continues in after showing the chest offering. The rest of you follow.
That is our offering too. That's part.
with her.
That's all our offering.
As you follow inside,
Yeah.
the smell of fine cooked meats and sauces mingles with wet leather and stagnant water. A soft fiddle and squeeze box kind of duet dances through the evening air. The bardic sources atop stools next to a large stone chair carved from the surrounding rock. Sitting atop the throne is a giant of a man, half giant to be precise. His dull gray skin marked with scars, his coat long and velvet blue, tattered at the edges, Plain breeches and boots shift as he stands, his eyes cold, shifting with his smile. Long black curls toppling along the sides of his head past his shoulders, framing his face to about mid-chest. Now, you know this through your research, and some of you have had experiences. For the most part, male Goliaths don't have hair, let alone such luxurious locks.
European, British, Jewish.
As he stands up, a servant enters and leaves a bowl of somewhat bruised somewhat bruised fruit at the feet of the throne. The figure claps his hands once loudly, the large figure, and the music stops, coming to a halt.
Deep guests. Ivontica, you bring guests. Welcome, friends, to the revelry. Come, sit a spell.
Two servants all of a sudden come behind you. You hear the scraping of wood against stone as two long benches are pressed behind you. You kind of find yourself awkwardly having to sit on them as they kind of creak with your weight. Another bowl of nuts and somewhat mushy berries is placed in Caduceus' hands. A bottle of wine is opened and handed to Caleb.
My manners, where are they? I am Wyatt Marinus, the Plank King of Darktow, master of the revelry.
All hail the king.
All hail the king.
All the hell the king.
Here, here.
And you are?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
We are part of Avantica's crew, but humble servants in her adventurous. I am. Some call me Gilligan, others other names. I present to you this dried meat of the harpy as a present for you. Harpy jerky.
Sets it kind of awkwardly on one of the arms of the stone throne.
Okay, Gilligan. So, Avantika, seems you took all of these under your wing.
She kind of nods and takes her chest and puts it forward and goes, that is true, and I believe the rest will introduce themselves here in a moment.
I'm the little sapphire. I looked at him. I'm the little sapphire.
Hello, my name is Philip.
I'm Bo. Some call me Tracy.
I'm Ford Tusktooth, quartermaster of the Squall Eater.
They call me Clay.
Yasha just goes, I'm Yasha.
Well, you've all come under the banner of the Squall Eater. What draws you to a life of piracy? What drives you?
So much.
What drives any of us? Necessity. Urgency for a better life.
All right.
Ships are really cool. We like to steal things.
Disdain for organized crime and the Empire.
I serve nature, and I'm the maker of fine graves.
I just love water so much. Can't get away from it. Ooh, doggy.
Oh, is this required? A refugee from the Empire. Looking for a better life.
Looks to Yasha. I like to punch things. And smiles. Looks back over her shoulder.
You've got all that, Linus.
And you see off to the side, in kind of an alcove, you weren't looking, you see a man kind of hunched over is currently writing everything down in a book and sketching. And just paying really close attention to everybody.
You draw too?
Courtroom.
Yeah.
Still not.
Do you want to show me some of your drawings?
No.
Okay.
And you watch, he's feverishly like taking notes and sketching, and you recognize that he's drawing as well as making notes. So
I'm going to definitely, like, every time he looks over at me, pose differently.
okay.
Well, if the captain here vouches for you, then I trust you won't go causing any trouble. Only law here is no trouble coming in between pirates while within the reef. You cause trouble unearned, I judge you. You've seen a few judged on your way up here.
Oh, yeah.
Trouble outside the reef. Well, you either return to explain your cases, and I decide 'twas fair or in need of punishment. Or if you don't return, I just assume you're guilty. Name's the big ones, you understand?
Does this just include harming other pirates or stealing from them too?
Depends on what the other one thinks. If the other one doesn't want to be harmed or stolen from, well, that's breaking the law.
Got it.
What if the other one isn't around to lodge a complaint?
Well, hard for me to hear that you broke it. Now, Darktow means protection. It means family. And family shares its good fortune.
He looks to Avantika, and she now kicks the chest across and scrapes. He stops it with his foot and kicks open the lid, and the coins are there now visible, a couple kind of spilling out.
I accept your tribute. Welcome back. We'll get your ships open, fixed real soon. Welcome to the rivalry. Now, you all sorry lot, you have certainly shacked up with one of the craziest lasses of the Slovene Islands. That's for sure.
Crazy, all right.
Damn dream chaser she be.
What?
So be warned where she leads you. She's crazy. Fucking nuts.
Thought that the entire time.
Yeah, yeah.
She looks up at him and goes,
Oh, you're quite a beaut yourself there, master.
kind of grins to himself. Well, thanks. That's it. Shove off.
Oh,
The fuck out of my room.
Okay.
may I just ask, this Linus person over there, are they just writing everything down that we say?
Yes.
Most it's Mother Butch. I love dogs and poop.
It's kind of glaring over at you.
Take our leave.
I guess so.
Okay.
We're gonna go just enjoy your fine place now. Thank you for having us.
Do you have
Course.
like a favorite cocktail at the Bloated Cup?
Or favorite spot.
Brew or...
No, I have my drinks brought up here.
Right. Of course you do. All right, bye.
Yep.
As Avantika leaves, the rest of you are leaving. Kind of takes his arms and kind of like pushes you out, kind of leading you to the exit.
Is it just the Plank King and Linus in that room, aside from Avantika?
Make a perception check.
It's a, 17.
17. A couple things you notice. One, you glance kind of in the vicinity, you look and notice the Plank King. Right where the hairline is, it's a duller, paler white.
Yo.
And in that moment, you remember the first Plank King was definitely known for his longer, darker locks.
Whoa. That's metal.
The lotion in the basket.
That's some metal shit.
And looking around the interior of the chamber, because the way this is carved inside the mountain, it's like this kind of nice arched cavern top, and there are a number of alcoves and hidden spaces, and you glance around and can, at first, at just a quick glance, notice at least 6 or 7 other figures that are just hidden in the alcoves, just watching.
Creatures, like
Figures.
Figures.
Seem to be other humanoid.
Roof snipers.
As you're all being ushered out of the chamber and pushed to the side, the Plank King is like,
Anyway, off with you. Enjoy your night. Drink well. We'll take care of that.
and there's a little tug on your arm bow. And the Plank King kind of just comes and whispers in the side of your ear. And says,
You've a keen ear, right? Avantika ever does anything untoward to our little community here, you let me know. Some grand coin in it for you.
How much?
just backs away.
I yank away from him. Move on.
Okay.
Snitch.
You can tell you're a snitch. Tell at 50 feet that you're a snitch.
Am I that transparent?
You said how much?
You sit in the bathroom stall with your legs raised. Yeah, no, yeah. That's in a notebook.
And with that, you make your way out, back to the stone steps. Avantika sees you all exiting and goes, well, that was harrowing and necessary, but over. Now for drinking, yes?
Indeed, he seems like quite the benevolent leader.
He's certainly a series of adjectives, yes, I'll give you that.
How long has he been in a seat of rule?
Well over a decade, probably.
How much on average do you pay him to not kill you?
Oh, well, it's not paying him to not kill us. It's sharing in our spoils to better the community.
And if you didn't share your spoils?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Right.
He has beautiful hair.
Yeah, it was lush.
Yeah, it was something.
Nevertheless, I'm going to get drunk. Who's with me?
Here, let's go.
All right.
Follow.
Come on. She smiles and turns around, and you all begin to make your trek down the somewhat slick stone steps to the darkened city of Darktow, the glittering firelight, open windows below leading you to what other revelry the evening has in store. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh, God, we're on Pirate Island!
How did this happen?
Cool though.
You stole a ship and followed the path.
We're surrounded by artillery and pirates!
We were going in a completely different direction, and now we're pirates.
He's wearing
There was, like-
somebody's scalp, you guys.
There's a war on another continent,
so proud
and
of
we're
you all.
not a part of it.
I will
I am
say
so
this
proud of you.
though,
Far away.
in comparison to these folks, we're not so bad. We're not that
Right.
bad.
It is a point of comparison. This is true.
We're not wearing the mane of other creatures.
Guys, we're the heroes here.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Good shit, Matt.
Well, guys,
Good shit.
this is it's a very unique flavor of campaign.
Deeper.
The Black King. The Black King is cool.
He's a fun one.
Alrighty. On that note, folks, we're gonna pick this up next Thursday. Yeah, look forward to the art book coming on sale Monday morning. The final chapters, the second half and end of Vox Machina's campaign, as created and presented by you, the fantastic art community. Yeah. Other than that, have a wonderful weekend. We love you. And is it Thursday yet? Good night, guys.
You're the fucking hat.